So we're moments away then, and the two top teams in the Elite League, certainly on the evidence so far and as the league standings show. A lot of excitement in the building, not least here on the gantry. And we're looking at two puck possession teams as well, guys, and I'm interested to get your view on how you see the Steelers playing this, particularly over that first 10 minutes, whether they try and play their game or whether they just look to consolidate a little bit and weather a potential Devil Storm.
I think we might see a slightly different Sheffield Steelers team from the last outing, Ice Arena Wales, where they might look to take the sting out of this one early and perhaps play a little bit more trap and try and curtail the Devils and just break up play in that neutral zone and not allow the Devils to gain the zone and get that cycle going. But the Steelers game is all about speed, guys, so they have to use that speed. I think they're the fastest team in the league, slightly faster than the Cardiff Devils. So yeah, maybe early on expect them to be a little bit more defensive, a little bit more trap, but look to use that speed on the quick break, the quick counter-attack, the quick transition, and it could be deadly, Gaz.
Yeah, I still think they can sense vulnerability in the Devils and will go for the jugular earlier on.
Two big lines out on the ice to start. It's the Matthew Waugh line up against the Joey Martin line, perhaps the two best forwards in the league the last couple of seasons. And the Devils get into the zone early, but then the Steelers find an easy clearance. Martin mishandles, and there's a bit of a bump, and it ends up back on the Devils' stick. That's Andrew Hoffman down there, who's out there with Mark Richardson. Steelers have got O'Connor and Phillips on the back end to start things off. And there's a potential turnover there, but again, O'Connor with a heads-up play tries again. The Devils start with that high forecheck and look to put a bit of pressure on the Steelers early, just as John suggested might happen, which is what happened in the third period in Sheffield just a couple of weeks ago. Big bump in the corner there, Matthew Waugh in on Matthew Myers as his line is out there now with Doucette and Haddad. The Steelers get their first change in amongst the forward lines. Gleason Fournier now. Fournier fires that across the face of Mustakovs, and it'll be their big bump in the corner as Chris Culligan was hit, but he keeps that in the zone. Now Fournier takes a bump in the corner, but the Devils get that cycle going. Huge hit though comes in as Myers is sent flying, and Haddad tries to make up for that one. That was Davy Phillips with a big hit. Steelers on the rush here. Shot comes in, whistles wide though. That was good play from Armstrong, still on the ice. Fed Levi Nelson there, who couldn't find a way past Ben Bounds.
Guys, I think that's actually a huge shot block from Andrew Hoffman there. That was a grade A scoring chance the Steelers got from that hit.
Robert Dowd fires that one wide, looks for another chance there, but Ben Bounds is sharp and sends that one away from goal. Steelers now get their first chance in the offensive zone. It's there with Franzen. Franzen goes around the outside of Doucette, still skating as Franzen. Inside he goes now, takes a bump, but gets the puck down behind the net of bounds. Chance out front for Franzen again, who's just started there as a real spark plug on the back end for the Sheffield Steelers. Away they go. It just eludes Joey Haddad, and there'll be an ice on the play there, which Gareth Hewish doesn't like.
Touch for me on a dad's stick on the way down. I am out of practice.
Al, you mentioned there early the Devils do go with that two-man heavy forecheck with the centre certainly between the hash marks. And I say again, look for the positioning of the two defensemen, because that is completely key for the Cardiff Devils. If they are pressing the game, it neutralises space. If that gap control isn't good and the Steelers get a lead pass, then they're going into neutral ice with speed and they'll likely get a 3-on-2 rush. So the Devils defensemen tonight, it seems strange to say, so crucial on the forecheck.
Devils have got that second line out on the ice now against what we surmise is at least the Steelers' third line, Guillaume Debienne's line that is, out there with Colton Fretter and Jonathan Phillips. Fired in from Andrew Law, then took a bump from Fretter on the way through, but it was well saved from Mustakovs. The Steelers will get out of the zone now. It's with Colton Fretter. Fretter at speed over the blue line. He's got Mike Ratchuk jumping into the play and going to net. Fretter looks to go over to Guillaume Debienne, but that might set the Devils away with Sean Bentivolio around the outside of Ben O'Connor. Bentivolio up against Zach Fitzgerald in the corner as Fitzgerald does well with the body position there and then eludes Lane Ulmer, and away come the Steelers into neutral ice. Over the blue line now, Mike Ratchuk as well, a heads-up player who skates well. Sends that one into the zone, and it's Josh Batch there with a little bit of a mishandle, and that'll invite Guillaume Debienne in to try and make something happen and put pressure on, but Batch does well to get that to Scott Hotham, who then gets it up to Lane Ulmer, and the Devils get that one out of the zone. Big stand-up play there from Josh Batch, who gets physical early on there. Now it gets sent into the zone. That was Luke Ferrara with getting a shift early on for the Sheffield Steelers, so they will be using Ferrara as an extra forward tonight, primarily with three lines. Delayed high stick, but Bordeaux gets there first, and that one gets waved off by referee Jan Schmeichel. Out there is Matt Rose and Lee Young as the linesman as well. Good skating game so far, but also close checking, and Steelers get out of the zone.
Gaz, probably you saw on the webcast last night, the Devils' fourth line had their most minutes of the season, and they earned those minutes, and they're going to be crucial tonight against the Steelers' short bench. Andrew Lord has to trust those troops.
Yeah, absolutely, and interesting said that Bordeaux is bringing the biggest hits on the team. That's going to be
chance
crucial.
out front. Sorry, Gaz, there was a huge chance there, and it was well saved by Ben Bounds in the end. Now the Devils might be away. Jake Morissette, Joey Martin is there, feeds Morissette again, but that's a good cutout play from Ben O'Connor, and Patrick Asselin will get it back to the point with Chris Culligan. Now Asselin again. Asselin gets that over to Joey Martin. Cross-ice play, but it's to the backhand of Gleason Fournier, and the Steelers will come out of the zone through Stephen Schultz, but then well turned over. But Schultz has battled well there, the veteran forward, with all that experience in the American League, and they get it into the zone. Still with Schultz as both sides make their changes. This one's a fast game as we predicted. The Steelers the fastest team we've seen aside from the Devils in this building. That one gets sent out front, and Luke Piggott will chase. Sorry, that's Guillaume Doucette putting some pressure on the point, but good body position. Fired in backhand, whistles wide of Ben Bounds, and the Steelers with some good zone time early on. The Devils will get out of the zone though, and Joey Haddad will skate in as his teammates change. Still with Joey Haddad around the back of the net. Looks to go to Guillaume Doucette as Matthew Myers is on the ice now, but away comes Debian, who's turned over by Scott Hoffman. Batch sends that one down. There's no ice on the play, so Bjorkland will face some pressure in the corner. Haddad didn't get all of him. Now the cycle looks to get to work through Haddad and Myers. The big bodies are already 5 minutes into this one. Debian, big body hit on Joey Haddad as the crowd start to feel a little bit of intensity coming from the team in red. Big bump out front there involving Matthew Myers, and it's round the back. Cass will come to you on that one. You might have seen it better than me in a moment. The Steelers will come out of the zone, and here they go through Levi Nelson now with the breaks. A big bump comes in from Batch. He didn't get all of it though, and the Steelers get the puck back as the Devils are just struggling to get at the races early on here. Fired in from Armstrong. Good kick save for the left pad from Ben Bounds. Now back with Anders Fransson. Goes D to D. Fired in again through traffic. Good block out front from Josh Batch as the Steelers up the tempo off the shot from Ben O'Connor. Now Hoffman out front, but there's a try there, and eventually the Devils clear. All they can do is ice the puck, and the Steelers have been so impressive in the early going.
Guy Doucette is on a long shift at the moment. He hasn't managed to get himself off, but interference call potential over in front of Muscatos's net. Matt Myers, I believe it was, absolutely steamrolled through the Sheffield defence corps there, and got away with one for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was Matthew Myers' mantra there. If you're not getting out of my way, I'm going through you. But the puck wasn't in the vicinity, so maybe the Devils got lucky on that one.
No, the Devils do they do enough to win the draw? Just about in the end. It's with Scott Hotham now. Scott behind his own net will go D to D with Josh Batch. The Devils will try and get a change, and Lane Ulmer is out there with Sean Bentivolio, but again it gets turned over in the neutral zone, and here's Colton Fretter looking to go into the zone, but he then gets turned over by Scott Hotham, and goodness me, the turnover count for both sides early going in this one is going to horrify the coach's chance out front. It was Fretter there who did get a tip on it, but Bounds might have done something there as well, John. We'll maybe get another look at that in a moment. I don't know if you saw it a little better than me.
Well, I think Lane Ulmer's got to read the play a little bit better there, because the defenseman is committed to the play. I think it's then, was it Batch who had to move over. Lane Ulmer saw the open man but didn't get there quick enough.
Great speed again from the Steelers. They're in the zone. It's back with Fretter now. The Devils just can't live with this speed of the Steelers, and Zach Fitzgerald goes back to Colton Fretter again, headmanning the puck, and he's been involved in a lot of good things for the Steelers so far. Then it gets turned over though, and David Bryan will make a nice pass, cross ice. This time in space, Bordeaux shoots, but it whistles wide in the blocker of Mustakov's there at the Steelers net, and then a bump comes in. No call on the play. Luke Piggott is out there to provide a bit more energy on this line now. Piggott has earned more ice time recently.
Guys, there's going to be some big moments in this match tonight, and you get the feeling that chances like that need to be snapped up. Good to see Bordeaux in that position, but needs to hit the net.
Lead pass is there. David Bryan will send that in, and the Devils will get a change in their defensive ranks as Bordeaux looks to put a hit there on Davy Phillips, and just holds up on the play as Phillips' back was turned. Now it's in there for Luke Piggott. This line is having a good shift. Piggott fires, easy save for Mustakovs, but that's a nice fourth line shift for the Devils, who needed to change the momentum.
If Bordelow's top of the hits, Piggott can't be far behind, can he? He always finishes it off, and in a game like this, I think Pickett with that shift maybe is nudged ahead of Jones for me to maybe give him that fourth line role the next few shifts, because I think that finishing this is, especially on a short bench Steelers team, any money in the bank you can get in the physicality stakes is going to pay off.
I don't disagree, guys, and I just think it's healthy competition between those two guys. Pickett and Jones are playing for that roster spot. They've got to be defensively sound and they've got to make a contribution.
Fournier through traffic, but it was blocked out front. There was a massive bodies out there. It goes back to the point now with Chris Culligan, who'll fire that round for Matthew Myers. Takes a bump from Davy Phillips, who's been physical early on. Davy Phillips there with Patrick Aslin now. Both big lines out on the ice again. It's the War line that's there, although Debian is involved. And then we get a bit of a hold in the corner. Nothing called though, as that was a fair battle between those two players. Good physical play down low, and the Steelers try and come out the zone, but all they can do is turn it over. Here's Patrick Aslin. Aslin at speed to get around Ben O'Connor, who's already played a lot of minutes. And look at that stick handling from Ben O'Connor, but then maybe he does too much, and the Devils turn it over as Aslin gets his own back. Here it is with Scott Hoffman now. Scott back and chance at the back door. What a stick play in front that was to take it away from Aslin, who was creeping in at the back door. Still there for the Devils now, though. On the point, Haddad through traffic. Good save from Mustakovs, and he saw plenty of it. Sent wide, and now Batch fires that around, but it's turned over, and O'Connor might have a chance to make a nice lead pass. He does, but it's just out of the reach of Schultz. This pace is relentless. Bad change for the Steelers means Hoffman might try and do something. Scott sends that one down up against the boards. There's a good bump there, and now it's with Guillaume Doucette, who's out there with David Bryan and Joey Haddad. Joey Haddad with a big body behind the net there. Good pressure on him, though, from Anders Fransson, who's well over 6 foot himself. Stepping into the play was Josh Batch, but losing out, and Debian gets that away for Robert Dowd. Nice play inside to Levi Nelson. Nelson over the blue line, but he was offside. Then we get a hit after the play, and they don't like that. Then we got no call on the play at the moment. There was a cross-check after the play. How did you see that one, guys?
I think referee Schmetzschal has set his stall out that he's going to let this one run. I think he's got quite a good idea of how big this game is. He seems to have gone in this first 10 minutes and said, guys, you win this game and you're going to win it by going against each other. You might not go to the power play.
No, I don't disagree. I thought Scott Hoffman put himself in a little bit of trouble there, that he could have been called on a retaliatory penalty, and I think that's the word. I think that's good communication from the referee there. He's given him one, perhaps, there. He's telling him that, okay, I know the intensity of this game, and you felt you were hit off the play, but there might have been a retaliation call there, and I like that communication. Yeah, but John, if that hit from Nelson came during the play, then you might have seen a call for Hoffman, but it came after the whistle, so perhaps Michael just waved that one off for both sides, and that's good to see. Shot fired in on the bad angle from Ben Bounds. It's back on the point now. Through traffic, it's there from Bjorkland. Behind the net now, Nelson, who's right in the thick of things. Such a pivotal player for the Steelers, Levi Nelson. Through traffic again, but right now both clubs are getting a lot of bodies in those lanes and blocking shots. Now with Andrew Hotham. Andrew over the blue line. He's got a trailer there. Fired in by Andrew Law, but it was over the top of Mustakovs. And now it's back on defence there with Mark Richardson. Yes. Guys, for me, sorry to interject, and that's a heavy hit, but the Devils struggling to hit the net early doors. There's a lot going high and wide. Armstrong has it now. Back to the high slot area there. Robert Dowd let that one fly, and it was just well parried over the top there. The Steelers, though, getting a lot more zone time in this building early on than any side we've seen this season. Patrick Vordolo will chase and then just not quite make the hit, but put pressure on all the same. But good play from Ben O'Connor, such a heads-up player. Fired in there that time from Marcus Nielsen it was, who had a beautiful goal here last time, and boy do we know he can skate. Yeah, Sheffield Steelers very impressive in this opening 10 minutes, and quite interesting. I don't think we've seen the Steelers play much differently to what we've seen in the past so far. I think they seem pretty confident. It's a very, maybe a slightly simple game plan, but a very effective one. It's that good lead pass, getting a winger cutting across the neutral zone at pace, taking the puck, and then gaining the zone. And that's pretty hard to slow down when you've got wingers of the size of the Steelers and with their stick handling ability. Again, that pace of the Steelers might create something here for them, as they were too quick on that puck for the Devils to deal with behind the net. But in the end, it fell to the backhand, and there was no way in on goal. Nielsen tries to send that one out, but the Steelers send themselves back into the zone. Phillips will fire it down to Ben Bounds, and behind the net is Culligan. But again, Nielsen with that good skating style just puts pressure on Culligan behind the net, and they're not allowing these Devils defensemen to make those passes out of their own zone.
zone to establish something. Christopher Bjorkland now headmans the puck, makes a nice play into the neutral zone. Just slowed up a bit because it was in the skates, and then it gets turned over, and Jake Morris set with the beauty of a play to the neutral zone. Has the puck back now, but it eludes him as we just get a bit of ping pong here in the neutral zone. Asselin sends it around. Mustakovs will handle, and Bjorkland has it now. A bit of a suicide pass there right across the face of his goal, but luckily for him there was no Devils player there lurking in the high slot.
But Al, it comes, it's that cross-ice pass the Steelers look for. They get a winger who's looking to maybe swing from the outside in, and they look for that quick pass to hit him at pace. And yeah, sometimes it's not going to come off, but when it does, it's very effective.
Good play again, Debian it was that time with a big body play in the corner. The Steelers get that high forecheck going. Luke Ferrara now does well on the puck. Jonathan Phillips comes in and he takes a bump from Scott Hoffman and goes down, but it's with the Steelers. Debian makes a nice play with the over to Zach Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald had a goal here last time too in that big Steelers win in the Cup. That one gets sent down, it's turned over, and Joey Martin has a nice outlet there through Jake Morissette, the captain.
One thing we haven't touched on, guys, this is the first visit the Steelers have made without Mosienko, who's been an absolute terror to the Devils during his Steelers career, and it'll maybe, I'm sure, a bit of a sigh of relief from Lord and Nelson when they seen that he had gone elsewhere. It'll be interesting to see how that changes the dynamics of this Steelers team.
Chance out front, Doucette there working so hard, but again, Davy Phillips and the Steelers just winning those crucial 50-50s in front of goal. There'll just be a face-up in the zone there as that one went straight into the bench. John Gaz makes a great point there. Mosienko, so impressive every time we've seen him. He's pivotal on that high forecheck, and he's a clutch player too.
His work rate, but his skill. I thought he was the best Steelers player last year in their title-winning campaign. In the pivotal game of the season in the Big Blue Tent when the Steelers won on the Sunday night after the Devils had won in the House of Steel, he was the best player and really turned that game for the Steelers. And the Sheffield Steelers are always going to be a quality outfit. They're always going to be a dangerous outfit. But yes, I think they are slightly lesser without Tyler Mosienko, who was a great player in this league.
That puck gets corralled eventually, and into the zone is Mark Richardson. Mark Richardson looking to pull a move. Sends it out front. Doucette was there. Eventually got a hold of it, and now it's back with the point man. Matthew Myers fires through, but again, just wide of goal. Devils looking for some deflections out there, but a bit of miscommunication means Armstrong has the puck.
I think you just need a little shout there to Doucette that he had a lot of space to skate into, and all it takes is just a little yell, and the Devils would have had a scoring chance on that play.
Two men high for the Steelers again here, and Andrew Lord can't quite spring it again. It just works so well, that forecheck for the Steelers in this first period right now. It's going to take something special, you feel. They're so well organised, and as John has been talking about how important it is for the Devils to play that way with their gap control, the Steelers are doing just that. Nielsen fires, and that one gets blocked out front.
You just get the feel these are two heavyweights slugging it out. This is a frantic game, but there's a lot of skill involved at all. Players are having to make moves at pace, and we're seeing some lovely hands out there, some lovely offloads, and I just think this is engrossing. It's the two best teams in the league going toe-to-toe. And
with very similar styles of play as well. They're almost cancelling each other out at the moment, Gaz.
Yeah, absolutely, and you get that. It's just a hint of nerves as well around the arena as well, which always adds to a spectacle like this.
Goodness me, if there's nerves in November, there's going to be a few more come March.
But then, guys, that's slightly advantaged Sheffield Steelers. We're 15 minutes into the period, and so far the Devils haven't built on their early momentum. And do the Steelers start to take the crowd out of it? If they get through this period, I think that's job well done by Paul Thompson.
Absolutely, they know the Devils have that ability to score almost from nothing when they're perhaps not playing their best hockey as well, and they'll certainly be wary of that. And this Devils side, as we know, once it catches fire, it can get a few quickly. But right now, the Steelers playing oh so well. That one will get sent down. We're going to get another ice on the play here. It'll come back with 5:30 left in the first.
Andrew Lord wants to win tonight, doesn't he? He is doing everything out there. I think I've counted 2 shot blocks already where he's put his body on the line. He's hitting, he's holding on to the puck. Andrew Lord is really setting a tone, a tempo for his team. And again, it's a fantastic problem the Cardiff Devils have got. They've got a coach who would be an absolute gem to have on the bench, and he's also still a top 6 forward. So a good problem, but a difficult one to solve.
Steelers win the draw. It's with Colton Fretter. Steelers 3 lines right now going well up against this Devils 4-line unit. Patrick Bordlow will bring it away as the Devils do get their fresh players on the ice. And it is their 4th line. Bordlow with a nice play back to his defenseman Andrew Hoffman. Piggott sends that one in, and Bordlow will chase up against Zach Fitzgerald. And good play from Bordlow means the Devils get a hold of the puck. Fired in, and Mustakovs just flaps a little bit of that one, just sends it wide of the net, safely out of harm's way for the Steelers. And the Steelers will come away now. 2-on-1 they go. Guillaume Debienne is into the zone. Debienne shoots, and goodness me, that was a long, long way away. Mike Ratchuk might be looking at him and thinking, if that's all you can do, perhaps you should have made the pass.
But again, guys, that's reading the game from the Devils. Andrew Hoffman was pinched in, but I'm not blaming Andrew Hoffman there, because you know Andrew Hoffman's going to go and try and retrieve the puck. One of the forwards has got to have a look and see where their defensive colleague is and fill in. That's game management, that's communication on the ice.
I think we may see. No, we're not going to see. We're going to see We're going to see an icing call. My apologies, but it's interesting. Almost every time we look up here, it's not that often that you're seeing the line units you expect on the ice, and that's not because the lines are being juggled, but the game is being played at such a pace that it's quite and with so many few whistles, it's quite rare that a full line is able to get off, and that's perhaps affecting the cohesiveness as well.
I think that's an excellent point, Alan. I think it's a few coaches tearing their hair out, or what's left of it on some of their cases, as we tick down into this first period. And if one team can get a goal now, I think they will be very, very happy, because this has been a pretty even first stanza.
Well, I finally managed to get my point out, and I thank you, Gareth, for waiting there through my my stumbling to eventually hear the point I was making. I thought it was a worthy enough point not to give up on it halfway through, as I forgot how to speak. Again, it's just the puck control, a lot of passing into skates. Can Patrick Asselin do something about it? Asselin shoots, and it's an easy save for Mustakovs as well. He's had a few saves to make, but they've all been pretty easy, and the Devils have just not found a way inside right now.
Yeah, you referenced it earlier, Al. Everybody on both teams doing a good job of boxing out, getting in those shooting lanes. Neither netminder has had to make a real quality save so far.
Armstrong into the zone, tries to get a shot away, but again, it's just a solid defensive play, isn't it? That time from Scott Hotham, who has the puck now, and he'll look for an outlet there. There is an outlet, and now there might be something as pinching into the play was Wah. That allows room for Myers, who just fires that in, and Mustakovs will get a hold of it, and Wah there just made a little bit of an error jumping up, but then recovered well.
You see Muskatov say that puck wasn't travelling at a particularly high speed, but it still kind of bounced off his pads and juggled in front of him. And we've referenced it. The Devils haven't had any quality shots on Muskatovs tonight, but I think that shows if you do that, there is a potential for some rebounds there.
I think Myers wins the draw, does well, gets it back to Culligan, 2+2 last night, deflected out front, and it almost went through, but it was just wide of Mustakovs, who looked all at sea there off a wicked deflection in front of him. Here's Joey Haddad now up against the half boards. Haddad just comes out from there and goes back to Matthew Myers. Cross-ice play, it's over with Chris Culligan now through traffic, but it gets deflected, and Culligan had a goal a little bit like that last night, John, but that time it went about as far away from the net as it possibly could have done.
Well, it did, but again, it's just getting in the shooting lanes. The defensive assignments, particularly from the forwards on both teams tonight, have been very, very good, and I'm with you, Gaz. I think Mustakovs is a different type of netminder. He's a reactionary netminder. He's a great netminder who's won a league title, but he will give out rebounds. But at the moment, the Devils aren't getting pucks to the net, but neither are the Steelers. It's great defensive play on both sides.
Good win from Lane Ulmer, and that is a fine save, as there was a lot of traffic in front of Mustakovs there, and it was well saved. And again, the deflection was very good. It allowed the Steelers to get away from their net and now get out of their zone as well. Here's Stephen Schultz over the line, drops it off nicely for Matthew Wah. Wah just puts the brakes on, then looks to think about who he's going to go to. Instead, he just goes over to Nielsen there. Marcus Nielsen behind the goal, looking to make something happen out there with Schultz and Wah. Now with Wah. Wah shoots, and goodness me, that was just a whistle past Ben Bounds there, a whisker away from the goal, and Matthew Wah there showing how dangerous he can be given the opportunity. Hit comes in the neutral zone. Well play, though, that time from Ben Tavolio. Got it over to Andrew Lord. He took a bump from Ben O'Connor, who has also been physical tonight. Davy Phillips and Ben O'Connor, they move the puck well, but boy, have they been physical on the back end for the Steelers in this first period. About 2 minutes left in this first one, still 0-0.
Al, I actually think Ben O'Connor's been the best player on the ice so far tonight. As you say, he's played physical, but he's moved the puck very well. He's looking every inch the quality performer. Out
of the reach of Patrick Bordelow. No ice on the play, so he'll follow through and then put... Well, Zach Fitzgerald there made perhaps the sensible play and skated away, but Bordelow turns it over. He's been effective in the offensive zone as Patrick Bordelow creating room for himself and others. Then Fitzgerald gets physical on Bryan, but now it's with Bordelow. Shoots, well saved. Now the chance out front, skating in, and the Steelers do well. Fired in from Scott Hoffman. First bit of time the Steelers have perhaps looked a little unsure in their own zone, but they might get a chance to score here as it was just under the reach of Levi Nelson. And a miscommunication there from Bounds and Scott Hoffman means that Nelson still has it, though. He makes a nice play. Bjorkland sends that one down low, and then the Steelers miscommunicate as Debian sends that one all the way down back to his own end of the ice. The Patrick Bordelow debate, he's trying to hit everything that moves tonight. He's being very effective out there. He's not always making those hits, but he is forcing turnovers. This has probably been Patrick Bordelow's best weekend so far in a Cardiff Devils shirt.
And Fitzgerald knew he was there. You could tell by the body language. Fitzgerald braced himself for that contact, and that stopped him getting that puck out of the zone. The Devils put a shot on Muscatoss where that rebound came out, and it could have been a scoring chance, but you've seen it there. Fitzgerald, we know what a quality hockey player he is, what a leader he is on the Steelers team, but Bordelow did have an effect on that play.
Oh, we know what a warrior, as you say, Fitzgerald is, and those two have fought before a couple of times back in North America, and Bordelow's perhaps in a slightly different weight class to Fitzgerald, and got a pretty big victory in both of those fights, and you just wonder whether that has any effect. But then when you talk about Zach Fitzgerald, you think probably not. The way he plays the game, he'll play it the same way.
Oh, I think there's an argument that Zach Fitzgerald was the signing of the season last year. It was a bit of a left field signing for the Steelers, you thought at the time, but what a leadership presence he provided.
Chance out front, and what a miss it was from Colton Fretter, who's been so good for the Steelers, and he might want another go at that one. It's still there, still a chance for the Steelers. They try and make something happen, but that one gets cleared.
Best chance of the game falls to Colton Fretter, and well, I've just been in Vegas, gents, and I would have bet a lot of money on the house for Fretter to have put that one right through bounds, but over it goes. And, well, both teams have had pretty big chances. Bordelow earlier in the game, and now Fretter, you got to take him.
Well, I think Fretter and Asselin were vying for Player of the Week last week, and Fretter scored a Dougie McEwen-type goal against the Cardiff Devils in the House of Steel last Friday night. One of the prettiest goals I've seen in a long time.
Schultz now comes away with the puck over the blue line. Nice drop-off play. Wow, well, shoot just fires wide of bounds off the deflected play. We've got 5 seconds left as Matthew Myers with a nice heads-up play will just about kill things off for the Devils. And it's 0-0 after the first period. What an exhibition of hockey we've seen. It's been fast, it's been physical. It's two sides which, for the large part, have cancelled each other out. There weren't too many clear-cut chances. Perhaps the best one fell to Colton Fretter there right at the end, and he just fired that wide of Ben Bounds. I've got an apology to make as well. For some obscure, slightly mad reason, I've been calling him Stephen Schultz, and I want to thank the Frozen Steel M&L. Of course, Stephen Schultz, the Nottingham Panther player. It's Jesse Schultz. I can only apologise and say that is a complete slip of the tongue. It's been such a fast game. Not even me, who speaks about 4,000 words a minute, can keep up with everything. So I apologise. He shall be Jesse Schultz from now on.
That's okay. I was still wondering who this guy between the middle of us is who's turned up this week.
I want a competition.
Oh, it's been a great exhibition of hockey in the first period, Gaz. As I said, two heavyweights going toe-to-toe, and this is old-school Cardiff Devils, Sheffield Steelers ice hockey. And I think Al made the point, it's two teams with very similar styles. They want to play at pace, they want to have those stretch passes, hitting forwards at speed, and then gaining the zone to get good quality zone time. And it's gone back and forth. It's a real seesaw battle out there.
I think both teams will be fairly happy with that first period. From the Devils' perspective, I think they'd be happy that they haven't conceded and gone behind in the first period again. I think that is a work in progress. I think that is something that's actively being built on week in, week out to either team that goes ahead. And from a Sheffield perspective, they've seemed very comfortable. I think they've grown into that first period. The only question mark you would think is, can they keep up that pace with a smaller roster the same way that the Devils can?
Time for the main event now, gentlemen. And John, you witnessed an inferior product, really, an inferior version of this last night in Coventry. The players are far too concerned with the ball rather than hitting each other. Hopefully these group of 6 don't let me down now, and we see some big contact early on.
It was a strange one in Coventry. It seemed to go on for about 17 months. It was a very, very long game.
See, that's how we do it in Cardiff.
Straight from the off, carnage.
I wonder whether anybody will adopt your tactic, Gareth, in
running to the far corner?
Right.
Snap your ACL and then cower for the rest of the game. I would hope so.
Big collision there, but it might lead to a goal. It just fires wide, as this is one of the best things ever invented. I should go as far as to say that.
Steve King hasn't in fact answered my challenge yet, has he, of the one-on-one Zorb football encounter?
No. Well, you stayed about as far away from Steve last time as possible, John. You found a little camp for yourself in the corner there. This one might go in, but it's too much curl on it. It just took it away. He needs to sort of reassess.
Oh, nice sliding play, but it's a good defensive move there.
Took a hit to make a play.
The
problem is, if you look at the ball, you're basically turning yourself into a target.
Yeah, and if you're playing against a team who have spikes on their feet,
yes.
You can't knock them over. And, that's just physics.
That's just physics. I think that's my favourite line. Steve King, the Ben Johnson of Zorb football.
Well, as
Agonizing.
an argument, that might have gone in if that net was on its moorings.
Well, if only there was some sort of rule book.
I thought you were writing one.
Yeah, that's after my novel.
We get a big bump there. That was nice. That was a blindside play.
Yeah,
but
that was teammate on teammate.
In hockey, though, that's to be condemned. But in Zorb football, it's to be applauded, that kind of play.
Well, the pink team have imploded. They're just hitting each other.
I think my favourite thing about Zorb football is that the referees actually wear referee uniforms. I've only just realised. Why is that happening?
It's pretty serious stuff, obviously.
Yeah. What do you think we're having a laugh at you?
Yeah. It's not the minor leagues now, Al. This is Zorb football at the highest level.
I think our performance was very minor.
Were there any goals there? I don't know.
I don't think. No, it was 0-0 in the Zorb football as well as the.
But it was a 0-0 thriller.
It was a 0-0 thriller, as you
see, which matches them evenly. So I suppose it's just a slightly different dynamic of hockey that the people are watching tonight. That doesn't mean the Devils are playing badly. I think both sides can play better. Certainly, needs to find a little bit more chemistry. There's been a couple of chances wasted, but I think a lot of that just goes down to both sides cancelling each other out.
And here we go. The face-off has been taken, and Joey Haddad just lays that one forward for Myers, and a offside call as Matthew Arkin hurtling back there, and he's going to look at his ankle a little bit there. Wow. Sure, he'll be okay.
Interesting to see, guys, that the Devils start the game tonight and this period with the Matthew Myers line. They did the same in Coventry. I think Andrew Lord feels this is the line going at the moment. It brings a little bit of everything. There's energy, there's Myers and Haddad who can throw the body, and of course do sets on that hot streak. So Andrew Lord putting a lot of trust in this line at the moment to set the tone for the Cardiff Devils.
Well, they started the first period with the big Joey Martin line, but Steelers still stay with the War line, but the Devils make that change, as you say, John.
And now here come the Steelers. Armstrong, he'll dance over the blue line, back out play right to the back stick, and it was Jesse Schultz there looking to play that tack pass, Ben Bounds, and still pressure from Steelers as Bounds puts that puck high above into the netting.
Yeah, and perhaps we just saw a little bit that difference in the line matching there. The big line out there for the Steelers, it was Jesse Schultz on the back door. Who got the opportunity there, just perhaps a little bit less speed on that Devils third line with Myers and Haddad out there. Now the Devils make that change, get the big line out there, but the Steelers mean they've got the Nielsen line matched up against them.
Hoffman lays it to Richardson, and Richardson comes forward. Richardson's pass is cut out, and now the Steelers gain the zone. Now he's down out in front, and his pocket is picked by Morissette. Now Joey Martin, and the Devils get a rush of their own going. Is Hoffman He can't find Asselin. Broken play. Now Morissette. He can't collect it. And the Steelers looking the more comfortable outfit in this first minute. There's the Steelers again. Dowd lines it up, and that took a deflection past the net. And bounds again in around the net. And Sheffield looking very much at the races as Hoffman can only deflect it as far as Nelson, who fires. O'Connor. Shot comes in, bounce saves, and Morissette now will have to get out of the zone and does, and it won't be an icing call and the Devils can make a change.
But John, that cycle was possible again because the Steelers are just skating a little bit quicker than the Devils right now. The Devils just can't skate with the Steelers. They didn't do it at home last time. Away from home, they found an opportunity and a way to do it. But right now, in both these games in Ice Arena Wales, the Steelers just a step ahead of the Devils.
Alma tries to find Bentivolio. Bentivolio in a battle which he loses. And now the Steelers take a shot, but that's wide. Fournier, he's under pressure from Devienne. Now here's Lord, he can't collect it, and the Devils having a real tough time holding on to this puck.
Because the Steelers are pinching up a lot more into that neutral zone. That's the third or fourth time the Devils have given up the puck in neutralized territory there, with turnovers forced simply by the body presence, the close proximity of Steelers defensemen or forwards.
Fournier to Lord. Lord to Bentivolio. Lord on the chase again, and he's held up by Jonathan Phillips, but finishes his hit on Bjorkland. That will be an icing call on the play, and the Devils will get some respite.
Al, just to your point earlier, we've had a message in from Rob Smith, who's a good friend of the show and sends us little tidbits. He watches the webcast, saying about the refereeing that he likes the style so far, that the referee is allowing these two to go 5-on-5 and they're going to sort it out. So it looks as though unless there's something, a major infraction or an obvious penalty, these teams are going to skate 5-on-5 tonight.
No penalties called so far in the game, but both teams are playing a clean game right now.
Hoffman of the Scott variety. Now here's Jones as the Devils send their fourth unit out, arguably their most effective so far. Scott Hoffman plays it in, and Bordelow's out in front. He can't find Jones, but he can't find Hoffman, who shoots, but it's blocked. Bordelow takes a wicked bounce away from Bryan, and Bjorkland now, he'll have to get past Jones, who does well. Bryan. He has his pocket picked by Bjorkland. And now the Steelers get through with Phillips. Phillips is through. Phillips scores! And the Steelers take the advantage in this game. 1-0.
Guys, you have to look at this pass by Christopher Bjorkland. The saucer pass, but the pace he puts on it just to keep it out of the range of the Devils defenseman, but to give Phillips the head start in the foot race. And Phillips does very well with pressure on his back to go down, get the shot away before bounds is set and score a great goal. But look at this pass here. It's a saucer pass, just the pace, the judgment of that to allow Phillips to get inside position on Scott Hoffman, and Phillips finishes very well. But that pass is an absolute thing of beauty.
That's Phillips' first of the season in the league as well, John, and it's a little bit of a same old story from the Devils' point of view. That split pass, you could see the Steelers were trying it, the stretch pass in the first period. The Devils gave up goals like that last night. They've done so throughout this season. Steelers took advantage.
And straight away there will be a icing call on the play as the Steelers will come right back into the Devils' offensive zone, and Jonathan Phillips, he's been ever present in a Sheffield Steelers uniform, once again taking the ball by the horns in this game, putting his team in front.
But the thing is, and I do take your point, Al, I don't think Scott Hoffman's starting position is terrible, but just the pass is so sublime, just giving that inside position.
Shot comes in again, and the Steelers are right at the side of the net, and they are looking rampant and hungry at the moment, and they feel that this Cardiff Devils team is a little bit rattled as the Ice Arena Wales crowd attempts to get their team back into this game. Off the boards, and the Devils do collect it, and Haddad just misses out as Nielsen it is who passes it back to Wah. Wah back to Nielsen, and the Sheffield Steelers looking hungry for that puck as it's there. Bounds with a save, I believe, with the pad? And if so, what a save that was. And now Doucette tries to get through, and that will be the first call of the game, as that is as blatant a penalty as you're likely to see.
Yeah, I think that's a holding call to end all holding calls, but probably a good penalty, a professional penalty, because Doucette had the gas in the foot race. I was just going to say, Al, before that moment, I felt that the Sheffield Steelers really smelt blood, and as Gaz says, from that building, from that goal, they really had the Devils on the back foot, but Guy Doucette continues to work hard. He had the extra foot speed there, and in the end, Nielsen, who is absolutely no slouch himself, but perhaps a little bit longer into his shift, was forced to pull Doucette down.
Could be a big moment in the game, this one. The Devils' power play is good. It's third overall on the season. The Steelers' penalty kill is down at 8th among all teams. So could be a key moment. The Devils' power play hasn't been brilliant the last couple of games. They did get a power play goal last night, and they need to get going early here.
Fournier throws it there! I think it's a tip in front, but the fact remains, it's 1-1, and Nielsen leaves the penalty box immediately, having only just sat down. 1-1.
Guys, it's a clean face-off win, and right now Debian isn't happy, and he's remonstrating with referee Merkel, but for the Devils, Fournier has a lot of time to make that play, so I'm interested to see whether the Devils forwards do a great job of getting in lanes there, not allowing the Steelers penalty killers to get out to Fournier, because he does have room to walk the blue line. Lord then goes to the net, and I'm with you, Gaz. I think he gets a slight touch, but have a look at the work the Devils forwards do here off the puck. They seem to create a lot of room, time and space for Fournier.
I think someone may have been thrown out here. I think Debian may have been asked to leave this game. There was and I think it's Debian here, John, we've seen as we have another look at the goal, and I think that's a tip by Lord right out in front.
That's a penalty on Ulmer. That should be a penalty. That's why Debian is so annoyed, and our cameraman Howard has just said that Debian might have been asked to leave the ice. I think that's you guys are disagreeing with me. I think that's an interference call.
I'm impartial, John. I didn't say a word. I didn't make any sort of facial expression in your direction.
As I said, the better half thinks I'm wrong on everything. Great play by Lord to get that deflection, but I've got to say I can understand why the Steelers bench is unhappy.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there, John, on that pick, and Ulmer holds on perhaps a little bit too long. I'm not sure it was anything worse than what Patrick Bordelow did last night for Chris Culligan's goal for the Devils last night. To me, that's a battle on the face-off. Both players are battling. Yes, Ulmer knows what he's doing, and I could see it if it was called. I don't think it's the most outrageous non-call we've ever seen either.
I don't, and this is the beauty of sport, Al, the healthy debate. The reason I think it's different, I think Bordelow has the skating lane last night to get back to the point, and there's no stick infraction. I think Ulmer there might be stick involvement, and as a result, that's why I would call it interference. But we see things differently. It's a borderline call. What we do know, it's a 1-1 hockey game.
Well, this game has sparked into life somewhat as Lord throws a huge hit straight off that goal. And I think he's going to line up another one. And Nelson just gets away, and Lord is a man possessed out here on this shift. But here come the Steelers. They have a man over. That man is Bjorkland, who's already shown what a lovely set of hands he has. Fitzgerald, who was looking for that puck to go straight on net, and this time he does get it. Bentavolio can't get his. Lord is hit off, and there's a shot on bounds, and it's all going on, and my eyes cannot keep up with everything that's going on that ice pad at the moment.
That's a huge hit from Fitzgerald, just answering the bell on Lord, who was setting a tone. We might be on the edge of this game exploding.
Nelson. Ben O'Connor's going in on Ben Bounds, and there's 2 10-minute misconducts be given to Debian, and he leaves this game.
Yeah, two 10-minute misconducts on that play, of course, resulting in the game misconduct. Al, an already short bench team, losing a very influential player.
Yeah, but you talk about what Todd Kelman said in the week, is that he wants Andrew Lord on the ice. Yes, Andrew Lord may like to be on the bench, but he knows what a standout player Lord is. It's the player coach yet again. This game needed some emotion. The Devils needed some emotion after that first goal went in. I said that if the one goal came, we might see things come alive. That's exactly what happened, and Andrew Lord is the type of player to bring that to this hockey game. Great response from Zach Fitzgerald as well, just to see, and the Steelers have been superb, by the way, since Debian was sent back to the changing room.
Couldn't agree more, and Andrew Lord was the best player in the first period for the Cardiff Devils. and he's leading by example right now. But as you rightly say, I like Fitzgerald's response there. The leadership role from Fitzgerald, just showing that he's a dog in this fight.
Sheffield fire that puck down, and Andrew Hoffman it will be, who tries to get it forward. There's a lot of orange jerseys. There's no offside call on the play. It's a backhand try, and bounce saves, but it's loose. And now Franzen can't collect it. Now the Devils maybe have a rush of their own. Here's Morissette. He's got Hotham for support, but that puck is going to be deflected over the net of Masakos and face off in the Steelers zone.
I'd like to have seen the Devils do a little bit more there. Franzen was caught at the ice there. That was Luke Ferrara playing on D there, and the Devils didn't make something happen. They had an opportunity to take advantage of a forward playing on defence.
You're absolutely right. Just a point about Ben Bounds, who's an absolutely fantastic performer for the Cardiff Devils and someone I hope is here for many years. He was pulled from the game last night. To me, he looks like there's a little bit of lack of confidence there. He's very much deep in his net. A couple of times lately, the puck has sort of got away, bobbled through the pads, and gone across the crease area. And you can tell when the netminder maybe has gone down a little bit in confidence. They start going back in that net as we see a hooking infraction now one suspects against the Cardiff Devils.
Well, after the previous most blatant penalty you're likely to see is followed up by the second most blatant penalty you're likely to see, as Matt Myers will sit for hooking for 2 minutes, and the Steelers will enjoy their first power play opportunity of the evening.
And that doesn't include the non-call on Ulmer.
One non-call on Ulmer.
So Steelers got the second best power play in the league. We know that they've only got that one loss away from home, and since that goal went in, they've been the better side. This is a real momentum building for them tonight.
I think that's a good social media experiment, though. What's the fans at home think about that play? It probably is a borderline call. We've got a split decision here in the commentary box. What's the feeling at home on that Ulmer play?
Bjorkland lays it down to Armstrong and Ice Time TV to join in on that. Question posed by John Donovan as that shot is wide of bounds.
I can guarantee I'll be wrong.
Bryan flips that one forward and the chase is on. Lord puts that on Muscatovs and is cut out by the Sheffield Steelers as they were racing back. That was Ratchuk. And now the Steelers will look to set up. Here's Waugh, Schultz, Bjorkland. Lays it back to Armstrong. Armstrong shoots, it's blocked, and it is Mark Richardson who's taken a very heavy puck to the body there, and it is up.
Well, Al, in your interview with Andrew Lord earlier this week, I think Andrew Lord said that unbeknownst to everyone, Mark Richardson was playing hurt last weekend. He's a real warrior.
Lovely play by Nielsen, who's laid it out down, and that's a save by Bounds, but the puck was right out in front, leaving a rebound of his own. Ben Bounds there. Fretter. 40 seconds left on the power play for the Steelers. Can they regain the advantage in this game as Bordelot is having a hack and slash, and there's a couple of slashes back and forth. Ben O'Connor's going to come in here. There's no one really on the ice in terms of a physical threat from the Sheffield Steelers, but well, there was no intimidation there as Bordelot trading a couple of hacks and slashes.
This is a great game of ice hockey. This is real back and forth stuff, and you've got to give credit to the Steelers right now in terms of being short bench. And Al, you made a great point. Their response to the goal has been very, very good.
Down low. Steelers, the setup is Dowd. Dowd's pass a little bit loose, and now can Scott Hotham gain the puck? He can't, and the Steelers will look to set up again. Broken play. And now Hotham will have a chance to clear his zone, and he does, and it's got to Morissette, who's in on goal. Morissette shoots, and Muscatovs was very aggressive out of his crease and makes the save.
Yeah, that's a fine save there, John. Mustakov's there, challenging the shooter. Really didn't give Jake Morissette too many other options as well. The scramble defence from the Steelers was good as well off the broken play. They regained their composure well. That would have been a real momentum swing. We've got just 7 seconds left on that Steelers power play. That would have been a short-hander for the Devils.
You're absolutely right, and Mustakovs does so well there to close the arm, the blocker to the pad coming together. It's good hockey IQ from Morissette. He knows he has to get the shot off, but that's a big save.
Steelers do well to get it out of the zone as their power play is coming to an end. As Schultz goes right in on bounce and he scores! What a play by Schultz. It was forehand, it was backhand, and I thought it was a goal myself.
Yeah, I think that's in. I'm surprised there's this level of protest. I think that hit the back padding and came out.
Yeah, I thought that was the goal straight away. So we agree on this one.
I really don't know what the incredulous nature of this is. I thought that was a lovely forehand backhand play by Schultz, as we'll see it here. That's at the back of the net as far
Or is that, no, is
Or
that
is it
inside
the
post?
Inside post, possibly.
I think
So
the three of us have potentially been proved wrong there.
not for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. Well,
Credit to the goal judge and the other 3,000 people in Ice Arena Wales, because we were way off the mark there. Schultz, a lovely burst of speed to the outside, really burns Mark Richardson and goes to the backhand. I really thought that had hit the back pad of the net and come out, but great work from Ice Time TV there with our camera angles. And
No goal.
That's a no goal, and on the basis of replay, that's a very good call.
and it was the goal judge who they summoned over to come and talk to them there, John. It's a goal judge has been here for many years, who's getting a standing ovation as she makes her way back to her post. But we got to give it to her there. That was a fantastic decision.
No, credit to Janine behind that goal. She's made a call there that certainly, well, I thought that was in. I was expecting the red light to come on. It was a beautiful play by Schultz, but that's a superb call by our off-ice official, and also great work by our Ice Time TV guys bringing you those pictures.
So the Devils were back to full strength in all of that, in case you missed that little bit of information or you need to be caught up.
But despite that goal knock, I don't think anyone would have begrudged the Steelers the goal there. They've been far superior since the Devils scored and Debian was sent to the changing room. And it doesn't change things, though, as far as both sides are concerned. The Devils have got to try and make a change here. They've got to feed off the fact they killed that penalty and try and get some parity 5-on-5, because right now it's all Steelers.
And this time the face-off has been muddled too much as Matt Rose brings the face-off out. And just a line to the referee there in making sure he got that call correct. You have to give a lot of credit in such a big game for that decision to be 100%.
Guys, I'm going to be controversial here. I honestly can't remember. Do we have goal line technology? Do we have goal reviews yet? What's the situation with the league?
I did ask Ado back here. He wasn't sure, so I was looking to clarify that, but nobody seems to know. If you do know, then please help us out.
There is equipment at certain Elite League rinks, but not all Elite League rinks. Once it is at all Elite League rinks, it will be able to be used, is my understanding from the Elite League underground bars, which I frequent.
Thank goodness you've returned, Gaz, and what a glorious return it is, capped off by that wonderful insight there that John and I would have failed to bring you at
we
home.
would have done a whole 10-minute muddle about, yeah.
I got you back, boys.
At least someone pays attention.
Wah! And that is another save as Wah puts a little spray on bounds there. No reaction from a jersey in red. Maybe a little bit surprising.
I think the Devils are a little bit shell-shocked right now. I thought when that goal went in, then Lord made a couple of those hits, that the momentum was there. They were feeding off the emotion. Fitzgerald then made that hit on Lord, and that just shifted it right back. And you just saw in an instant there how valuable Zach Fitzgerald is to the Steelers.
Ranson down low to Wah. Wah out in front to Schultz. Schultz back to the point, and it's a lovely play. And that puck isn't shifting. Now the Devils have a chance for a rush. And now here's Ulmer, who can't get it back to Bendevoglio. And that will be a hand pass as the puck comes out. And Fitzgerald now with a glove punch and a cross check. And wow, Fitzgerald has stepped up for his team in this second period. Another glove punch and another one. This time it's Lord. And Lord will be less inclined to go away from this.
Well, he will and he won't, maybe tactically, but Andrew Lord said to us in the rink shop this week, Albert, he's had 2 fights this year in his AHL gaze. He would have had 16 by this stage in the season. I think that would have been a good matchup.
Andrew Lord loves to fight. He said as much as that to us on and off camera, but the role he has as player coach limits the amount he can do it. Patrick Bordelow was staring intently from the bench there, and I think there's got to be some kind of response to that.
I think, I love what Fitzgerald's doing. Him and Ulmer came together in mid-ice collision. I think Fitzgerald's going to react to that. He's going to, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, be the bully boy in the yard. Absolutely, Al. I think it might be time for the Cardiff Devils to let Patrick Bordelow off the leash. With
Debiennes off the ice as well, there is certainly room for the Devils to sacrifice one of their own, you would think. But there's also 2 valuable points as Haddad loses out to Fretter. And now the Steelers look to start a rush again, and now there's going to be a penalty on the play, and it'll be on Haddad.
There we go. How many times do we say it? Zach Fitzgerald steps into the game, makes himself known, and he influences the play 9 times out of 10 in a positive way for the Sheffield Steelers. He did it with the Andrew Lord hit. He did it then when he got in the face of Lane Ulmer, then the Devils player coach. And Todd Kelman talked about it this week. Lord is targeted by other teams because he's a coach, and if they get him involved in those kind of altercations, they're looking to put him off his game, as unflappable as Lord is. Again, Fitzgerald comes to the party. Haddad takes the penalty. Power play Steelers.
I couldn't agree more. And also we know Paul Thompson, and I mean this in a complimentary sense, he's a coach who likes to influence from the bench and influence referees. After the Debbie N decision, he was very much in the ear of the referee, and a couple of calls have gone the Steelers' way. Justified, but that's Paul Thompson making sure the referee knows those calls have to be made.
Shot comes in, and Bounds makes the save. And going back to Fitzgerald, what I'd like to make, the remarkable thing I found about Fitzgerald was how much more fitter he looked coming back from a Sheffield to a Sheffield Steelers team. Last year he looked to have dropped a lot of weight. This year again he looks even sharper. I don't know what that says about his previous team and the regime he was on there, but maybe I certainly think he was addressed to a higher standard in his time at the Sheffield Steelers. And the Steelers set up once again on the blue line with O'Connor. He gets past Joey Martin. Set up again. Round and round, Levi Nelson will go. O'Connor. Shot goes in by Fretter, and it's taken a few bounces. I don't think it got to bounds. Steelers again. O'Connor. O'Connor shoots, comes off the shin guard. Fretter. Dowd. Dowd puts that on bounds. There's 3 bites of the cherry there, but Bounds stacked the pads. Hit coming in by Joey Martin, but still the Steelers keep it. Here's Nelson. That's cut out, and it's finally out of the zone, and the Devils will look to make a change.
The Devils have got the number 1 penalty kill in the league, and you see why it's so effective there. They're so quick to pounce on loose pucks, and as soon as a play happens and they just get out of that box shape, they're back into it very, very quickly.
Absolutely, and in the period of the long change, the work there was enough to get 3 players off the ice. Andrew Hoffman's now completed that change, so a completely fresh penalty killing unit for the Devils.
25 seconds remain on the power play for the Sheffield Steelers. Armstrong gains the zone. The big unit for the Steelers on this power play, Bjorkland. He lays it off and gets it back. Armstrong. Into the last few seconds of power play now as Bjorkland puts it on net, and it's blocked, but it will still remain alive for the Steelers. A Batch cuts it out for the Devils, but he can't get it out of the zone. It's a chance for the Steelers. It's deflected over the net, and boy oh boy, this game is frantic.
Andrew Lord just continues to impress. He's made 2 shot blocks there when Josh Batch turns over that puck. It's Andrew Lord again who gets his stick in the shooting lane and deflects that puck over. He is the one who is leading the Cardiff Devils right now. He is the heartbeat of the Cardiff Devils team, and he obviously knows just how important this game is. Andrew Lord has played well all season. This is a different Andrew Lord again.
Not since Evel Knievel or former WWE superstar Jeff Hardy as a man had such scant regard for his own safety when putting himself in the way of entertainment. As Culligan gains the puck for the Cardiff Devils. Doucette lays that one in, and now here's Haddad back from his penalty time.
Don't you mean brother
He's
Nero?
in on Fitzgerald, and now there's an elbow up on the face of the Sheffield defenseman, but no call this time. A puck sent in for goal scorer Jonathan Phillips, whose backhand play was clever and does find the stick of his teammate. As there's another tangle. Again, no call on the play. Is maybe 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and the Devils come away with it. Culligan to Fournier. That one's sent in for Doucette to chase, and a little bit more direct from the Devils here, and Doucette does win that one. Doucette twirls. Lovely little pass off as well. Backhand play, and Hoffman was coming in, and this will be a penalty as Doucette gets a few cross checks. I think Fretter's pride hurt more than anything after that dipsy doodle move.
That's excellent play from Doucette there, John. We talked about how he couldn't buy a goal really till mid-August. He leads the Devils in goal scores now, but he's still got that edge to his game. Andrew talked about how much he's come back a fitter player, a much more complete all-around player, and he did something important for his club there, brought them a little bit of momentum and a power play.
But that's the point, Alan, and it's a very salient one. He's come back fitter and stronger this year. You didn't see him get involved in those physical confrontations, going to the net, those dirty battles last year. Guy Doucette has always been an absolute sniper. He's added an extra element to his game this year for the Devils, as we see Colton Fretter taking the interference call, go into the penalty box.
Fretter, should be noted, was the gentleman who caught the elbow behind the net. This shot comes in, Muscatov saves, and it was right out in front, but there was plenty of orange jerseys around. Fretter was who took the elbow to the face and was mentioning that to the referee as he went to the box, but that wasn't called. The cross-check was, and now the Devils look to set up on the power play. Can they make it 2 from 2? There's Asselin. Gingen, that's a hit coming in from Davy Phillips. And my oh my. Doucette down low for Asselin to Martin. Hotham. Doucette shoots, and that's a good stick before it got to Muscatovs. Hotham again, and he skipped over his stick and out of the zone. 1:12 remains on the power play as the Devils are going to be offside there and had to tag out.
Guys, Andrew Hotham is key on the Devils' power play, but I really like seeing Scott Hoffman on the ice of the power play now he's back. He is the best defenseman on the Devils lineup in terms of getting pucks to the net, and I think he really makes a difference when he's on a power play unit.
Fournier gains the zone. Here's Bentivoglio. Bentivoglio out in front. Ulmer it was, and it took a deflection. It's still loose. Muscatovs was out of position, and Ulmer just couldn't get it to a red jersey, but here's Bentivoglio. Bentivoglio fans on it, and that will come back out. 30 seconds remain on the power play. Maybe one more setup for the Devils here, maybe. As Ulmer lays it long for Bentivoglio. Bentivoglio to Hotham, who shoots. It's blocked, it's still out, and it's kept in, this time by Fournier. Fournier is out of the zone, and the Devils, in some ways, their own worst enemy on that power play. 13 seconds remain.
When we talk about leadership from Andrew Lord, the head coach of the Cardiff Devils, what about the leadership from Jonathan Phillips there, killing the penalty? A stupendous shot block there from Phillips, because that looked oh so good. Scott Hoffman got himself into the position you wanted him to be in, John, but Phillips came up big, as I'm not sure Mustakov would have seen too much of it.
Scott Hoffman to Fournier to Ulmer. Ulmer with a long stretch pass to Bentivoglio, and here's Lord. Back to Bentivoglio, and the penalty has expired as Fournier shoots, and it's right into the glove of Muscatovs, who had a bit of traffic in front of him. Good save.
That's very good rebound control, because Lord and Ulmer both peeled away there, expecting there to be something to battle for in the crease area. Mustakov does very well freezing that puck. The penalty is killed, a very good kill for the Steelers. The Devils did get set up a couple of times, but again, as we say, the story of the night, committed players, particularly committed forwards, getting in the shooting lanes and putting their body on the line.
Bryan wins the draw. Shot comes in, and it just trickles past Muscatovs. Bordelot. Now Bryan in a battle with Bjorkland. Bryan does well. Can't put his stick on the ice, however. Now Bjorkland collects it. He's in a battle with Hotham. Now Bordelot. Hotham pinching in. And that puck will come out of the zone. Bryan will just look to settle this down for the Devils as we enter the final 5 minutes of the second period. And what a second period it has been. That's a hit finish there by Bordelot, but it's the Steelers who come forward with Waugh. And Waugh sets off Schultz again, and Schultz puts it on bounds. It's right out in front. And Myers, it is this time, who ushers that away. Shot comes in by O'Connor, saved by Bounds.
Guys, that play developed because Bjorkland was prepared to take a hit from Bordelot to make a play there. So impressed by Bjorkland tonight for the Steelers. It was Ratchuk in the last game down here who we all so impressed with as a puck-moving defenseman, but Bjorkland's really come to the party tonight.
Haddad. Haddad was almost outsmarted himself there, looking to go the wrong side of the defenseman. The defenseman had read it. Culligan shoots, and that's whistle wide, and there was a chance there for Doucette. This will be another penalty coming up on the Sheffield Steelers. And that's a high hit.
Yeah, that should be one back, guys. That's high.
Martin, it's there! Doucette scores, and that's controversial, but it is put in the net. And it is a second goal for the Cardiff Devils, but, well, few talking points there, gentlemen.
A few talking points, guys. I'm going to be the most unpopular guy in Cardiff tonight, and I apologise to Devils fans watching in. I think that's a second goal that shouldn't be allowed. I think the initial call by the referee is very good. Doucette is pulled away as he's got a chance to finish, but it is a delayed penalty call. Haddad sees the hit coming. Haddad gets his gloves up. I think Haddad should be penalised there, and I think the play should be whistled down.
Yeah, we could do with that replay going a little bit further back. It's always those broken plays, no doubt about it. Haddad got the gloves up into the face of Nelson there. That's a rough on the play. What I'd be interested to see if we can take the replay back a bit further is how clean that hit was going to be, whether there was a charge there coming in on Haddad. I can't answer that question. I'd like to see on the replay, and seeing what we've had from the referee so far tonight where he's cancelled a couple of things out. If there was a charge that came in, he might have just thought, I'm going to let this one go. Having said that, no doubt about it, the hands are up in the face. That's a definite rough.
I don't necessarily disagree, Al, because I was actually wondering the same thing, but can you preempt the penalty there? He doesn't make contact with Haddad. Haddad has made the contact. He's got the hands up. I think the Steelers and Paul Thompson can count themselves a little unlucky so far. We should say Doucette, right place, right time, and the sniper on a streak. He continues to score. Great play from the Cardiff Devils, but those are two I would say are mildly controversial goals that the Devils have scored.
Something we didn't touch on was how key special teams could be before the game. The Devils have been so good on the power play. The Steelers' kill is 8th in the league, as we mentioned earlier, and the Devils have looked their most comfortable on the power play there. It wasn't a power play goal, delayed penalty though, with the extra man on the ice, all the difference.
And, well, that's the most convoluted goal call I'm likely to ever have to navigate in my career. But, well, that's what this game is has done, as that's another hit coming in. And you sense there's a pressure cooker atmosphere to this one now. And, well, the Sheffield Steelers have come to play in this game. And you have to say they've probably been, on balance, the better team in this second period, probably throughout the two periods. But it's goals that count, and the Devils have got their noses in front through Guy Doucette, who's just a man on fire.
I think the only thing wrong with that sentence, Gareth, was the word probably.
Hedge your bets. As that puck's down low, Lord, who I'm sure will not be letting up here. In and around looking for Ulmer. Andrew Hoffman will jump into the play and collect. He finds Ulmer. Richardson shoots, and that's blocked. And that's stopped by Waugh, and that will be a penalty, as Waugh throws a lot of frustration into that shot, I think. It's a penalty, much like in the first period we saw on Doucette, that it had to be taken, and the Steelers will now go on the power play.
Guys, I wonder whether Mark Richardson is playing a little hurt. He doesn't seem to have the foot speed tonight, and when Waugh got round him there, I don't think Richardson felt he could get back in that race, and it is an obvious penalty, and probably, again, a good professional penalty to take, because otherwise Waugh was away. But Al, to my eyes right now, it looks like Mark Richardson might be playing a little hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in such superb form this season, and perhaps just one or two of those little mistakes that are there, which you don't see from a fully fit Mark Richardson. So I think that's a fair assumption, John. But from the Devils' point of view, they can take those penalties. I'll have to eat my words now if the Steelers score on this, but they have that strong penalty kill. For the Steelers, it's imperative they stay out of the box, because the Devils with the man advantage will look lethal.
Devils try to get out of the zone and don't. Schultz keeps it in at the blue line. For Steelers fans, I'll just mention that Nelson has just returned to the bench, so will be taking further part in this game after the hit from Haddad. Schultz lays that back for Bjorkland, who's been incredibly influential in this hockey game. And here's Bjorkland, who can't get it through. Bryan does an excellent job at the blue line in cutting that out.
The most underrated player in the league, perhaps. Boy, does he do a job for the Cardiff Devils, David Bryan.
I think there is a certain coach in the building tonight who maybe doesn't rate him as highly as you do, as Haddad tries to tick down some penalty seconds here. He's battling with Bjorkland, and now it's Ratchek who comes in to help out his teammate. 1 minute remains on the power play for the Steelers. Nielsen, who's just going to go in offside there, as Nelson, who's returned to the ice, comes over the blue line too quickly.
Al, I was just going to ask you, do you think Ado, the director, has any highlights from this period he might show in the period break?
He's too busy singing along to, is it Kiss? There we are. And he's not got his headphones on. Good to see he's doing his job over there. And I can carry on saying this because he hasn't got his headphones on, so I can slag him off as much as I like.
It's like that scene from Wayne's World 2 when the radio host isn't listening to a word they say. Hoffman. Andrew Hoffman, that is, fires it up, and Myers will go on this chase, and Myers will look to finish this hit, and Myers lost an edge, I think, just as he went in for that hit at the end, and almost has lost his helmet, gets it back on, and goes for a change. 35 seconds left on the power plays. That's another offside for the Steelers. I think they're third on this power play, and that's a 10-minute misconduct, and they can't afford to keep doing this, the Steelers, because the referee, especially, has laid his stall out at the beginning of this game, and well, Nelson will sit for 10.
Well, we know the way that Jan Schmeichel referees the game. If he hears any back chat, he gives you a misconduct, and the players should know that by now. I happen to like that way of refereeing. I think I'm much more in favour of that rugby style of refereeing than a football style, if you will, where the players are perhaps allowed to badmouth the referee, and he's made the call. And if that was a Devils player, I'd say exactly the same thing. And it's good to see, and I'd quite like to see that actually rolled out across the Elite League and not just this particular ref making those calls.
I don't disagree with that. Just on the reason the frustration's boiling, a couple of offsides there for the Steelers, maybe trying to carry the puck a little bit too much over that blue line with the extra man, look to chip in and get body presence there, might be a better option. They've got bodies at the blue line, but it's getting a little congested, and as a result there's been 2 or 3 offside calls on this power play.
John, I wanted to ask you, the Steelers so impressive 5-on-5. These power plays in some ways have actually taken the momentum away from them.
I don't disagree with that, and again that the Devils penalty kill to this point has been very good, but we shall see.
Fitzgerald throws that one across Bounds' net, and it was a broken play. That's a hit going in on Callaghan, I believe that is, and it was a huge hit. It was. And now here's Armstrong with a chance, and Bounds plucks that out of the air. What a save, Ben Bounds.
Bordelot is over the boards. Al, you've seen it, I've seen it.
Bordelot was pulled back there. He was jumping off the bench. We got more action.
As we got more pushing and shoving, as Ben Bounds with a huge glove save with 2 seconds left on the power play. Hoffman gets a punch in the face, and it's Fitzgerald, it is, who's again taking the ball by the horns, and Hoffman almost like a
little bit of rope-a-dope there, I think.
Fitzgerald has been so canny, isn't he? Every time he acts up, it's when Patrick Bordelot is not on the ice, John. And again, you've got to give Fitzgerald the credit. He's playing it in the way that works well for him.
Nelson is going back to the dressing room, we think, simply because there's only 46 seconds left on the penalty. Here we go.
And here's Bordelot making the offer to Fitzgerald. Are we going to see a little dance at the end of this second? We are.
I'd like to see these guys stay on the ice. Paul Thompson... Is he going to keep him on the ice? We should say Zach Fitzgerald's had a very, very long shift.
That's true.
But
No, Fitzgerald's at the end of the shift, so I can totally understand why he's being taken off.
Don't take the fight.
I just want to say, though, because the camera probably wouldn't have been on it because of the melee in front of the goal, Patrick Bordelot leapt over the bench at that point. He didn't get his feet on the ice because he was held back, but he saw that hit come in and jumped straight off.
I should say, I actually thought the first part of the hit was good, but there seemed to be a secondary incident there with gloves again into the face. You can perhaps understand frustration. We go back again to the second Devils goal where Joey Haddad wasn't called for that. First hit very clean, but there was certainly an additional rough as a secondary motion on the play.
Totally agree with you on that, John.
And well, I maybe think that isn't the end we see of that particular chat between Bordelot and Fitzgerald, and although with such a short bench it's very difficult for Fitzgerald to find the balance between taking on a task like that, which he certainly wouldn't shy away from, and being there for his team on the ice, as they do need bodies. Into the final 30 seconds, the Devils are back to full strength now, but here come the Steelers. Schultz with a shot, and that's a bad save, and Ben Bounds in this last 10 minutes of the second period has looked more and more confident as it's gone on after, as you say, John, maybe looking a little bit shaky. And there's another hit off the play, this time again on Callaghan as Wah throws another cross check off the camera, and another one. And you just have to wonder what's going to happen at the end of this buzzer here. Matiwa with a lot of frustration there, gentlemen.
Well, guys, this is a conundrum for the Devils now, because we've heard the Todd Kelman interview this week. He wants the Devils to answer the bell a little bit more, but they have a 2-1 lead. What's the game situation here? Do the Devils step up the physicality in the third? Do they look to answer these confrontations, which the Steelers are not doing anything outside the etiquette of hockey, I should say. They're playing a savvy game. What do the Devils do in this position?
Well, if you're the Steelers, you've seen a couple of goals go in, which perhaps you would argue strongly shouldn't have been given for the Devils. It was, okay, the Ulmer play wasn't a dirty one, but it was perhaps a penalty on the play. Then you've seen Joey Haddad throw the hands into the face of Levi Nelson and a goal come there. So while the Devils haven't been doing that consistently, they've affected big moments in the game. The Steelers have certainly initiated more of that physical play, mainly through Zach Fitzgerald, who's now making gestures as he goes off the ice. Nothing rude, I should say. He's just playing the role that he does.
Donovan to remain on the commentary webcast last night. They've got a Papa John's Pizza Emporium there, and I believe that there was definitely a large doughy-based offer made.
So hopefully we're about to take you from the ridiculous to the sublime, as Matthew Myers lines up against John Armstrong for the draw. The Devils will come away with it. Myers sends that through, but Joey Haddad is offside. And perhaps we're just destined here, Gaz, for the period that you call to be unbelievable and the ones that I call the play-by-play on to be slightly less than unbelievable.
Guys, I guess for the Steelers, whether they're going to double shift or Luke Ferrara now gets a key role with Nelson still sitting in that penalty box. Nelson a key man on that line with Dowd. They've got great chemistry. Luke Ferrara, who we know and like in Cardiff, he played a few games for the Devils, and I was a little disappointed. Another mistake. The Devils never looked to pick him up from the Peterborough system. He could have a big role in this third period for the Sheffield Steelers.
Here's Andrew Hoffman now, sends that one in. Just a feather of a play as Joey Haddad tries to get around the outside of Davy Phillips. No call on the play, and Jesse Schultz will come away with the puck, sends that one in, and the chase is on for Matiwa. This line does stay together for the Steelers, despite some of the mixing and matching that'll have to go on with Nelson in the box and Debian out of the game. Jesse Schultz gets that one around to Matiwa. Wah up against Andrew Hotham. Schultz comes in to help out against Matthew Myers, who puts a bump in on Schultz, and it's good work down low from the Steelers though there, but eventually the Devils will come away with it as Mark Richardson almost sent that one straight into the crowd, but luckily for him it was low enough to hit the plexi and out. In it goes, Andrew Hotham up against Robert Dowd, who puts pressure on him. The Devils again, it's been the Steelers again who are getting that offensive zone time, just camping the Devils in the zone a little bit. They have the puck now. It's there with Mike Ratchuk behind the goal. Ratchuk is out there. Now, I wonder if he stepped in to play as a forward. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, it is a couple of defensemen back there for the Steelers still. Bjorkland is there and Franzen there, so Ratchuk will play as a forward by the looks of it for Paul Thompson. Steelers will go with 5D, you would assume. That play is sent up to Mike Ratchuk on the wing, just mishandled, and Gleason Fournier will get a hold of that puck. Sent it out with a nice play, but it just skipped over Jake Morissette's stick, and it skipped over Zach Fitzgerald's stick as well, who just gave that one away a little bit, but has it back now and will fire that out of the zone.
Guys, I hope we don't read on the Inferno tomorrow that Zach Fitzgerald is this goon-type figure. I really, maybe we're in the minority, but I've been so impressed by his performance tonight.
Into the zone they go. It's Colton Fretter with the puck going to the net and now getting a hold of it. No, it went through Ferrara and it's over with Jonathan Phillips. So this looks like the third line now. Chance is there. It's fired in. Still a chance at the doorstep. We're going to get a delayed call here as Ben Bounce goes down and gets a hold of it, but that was far too easy going to the net there again. Good third line shift from the Steelers, a makeshift third line. It looks like the Devils are going to sit for two.
That puck was there for the taking, and it only needed a guy in an orange jersey to go and put that one away. But again, another positive start to the period from the Sheffield Steelers, and a big power play opportunity for them now early in this third.
Absolutely, and with the short bench now, with Nelson in the box, Debian out of the game, these special teams become even more important for the Steelers. being able to pin the Devils down a little bit. 4 men on the ice. They should have most puck possession. The Steelers' power play's got to go to work here.
They win the draw there, but that's great work from Joey Martin just to kill a bit of time, and Scott Hoffman has an opportunity now to do the same with Josh Batch. Josh Batch gives it away though, and it's Colton Fretter who has the puck now. Back here is Ben O'Connor, but instead it goes to Franzen, now over to Fretter again, who has the puck back up against Josh Batch, and Robert Dowd sends that around. Chance for the Steelers now with firing in O'Connor. That was a wicked deflection there. It was well wide of Ben Bounds. It's Colton Fretter again with the puck. He's got Anders Franzen there. Franzen then goes over. Shot comes in. It was a weak shot and from a weak angle as well from O'Connor. Nice pass then. They've fired in. It's wide of Bounds, who was a little stranded there off the shot. Still there now for O'Connor. Then it goes down low. Steelers a good zone time in the offensive zone on this power play. That one doesn't get through either. Marcus Nielsen will try and get a hold of it, along with Ben O'Connor under pressure from Scott Hoffman. It's there for O'Connor. He fans on it though. The Devils can't clear, but luckily for the Devils, O'Connor lost his stick, and the Devils eventually cleared, and they got a bit of a lucky break with 57 seconds to go on this penalty kill.
That's a shame for O'Connor. I thought his quarterbacking of that power play is very good. A couple of nice cross-seam passes. He remains the best Steeler tonight for me.
Steelers go to work again in the offensive zone. They've got a change of unit on there. Ratchik has gone back to play D on this one. Fired through traffic. It's wide of bounds. Still there for the Steelers. John Armstrong now. Steelers get their big unit on the ice. Armstrong sends down across. Chance out front. They score! Matthew Waugh.
The guy that just scores clutch goals. There's a broken play there, and Matthew Waugh has finished that, going to his knees. He's off balance, he's falling to the ice, but just the competitive nature, the determination to stay with that play. The Devils were boxing out pretty well, but it was a little bit of a broken play. Matthew Waugh, when it gets in that high slot area, he's just got that killer instinct for the puck. And again, just so impressive as we see the replay of that, perhaps at the next juncture. Just look how he goes to the ice but still stays with the play and scores a huge goal for the Sheffield Steelers.
Wow, his 8th of the season, leading from the front, scoring from... How many times have we seen him score from that position? He's just so good at finding room in front of goal there. It's a 2-2 hockey game now, and all that momentum the Steelers built at the end of the second period, led by Zach Fitzgerald. They've continued it on in the third period, and quite frankly, the Devils' start to each period has been incredibly sluggish, and the Steelers will look to take advantage of that. Here's John Armstrong. Going to the net is Schultz, and Waugh still out there. Another mix-up, but this time it's the Steelers. And Waugh is down here, a little bit hurt. He does get up, so he looks okay, and he'll, well, maybe look to try and get back on side quickly here. And Armstrong waited for him. Waugh's going to go to the bench, though. That one stung, and we'll keep an eye on that. Lane Ulmer has the puck now for the Cardiff Devils. And he goes over to Gleason Fournier, who took that penalty that led to that Matthew Waugh equalising goal on the power play. O'Connor sends that one around the boards, mishandled by Jonathan Phillips under pressure, who gets in a tangle with Haddad, but away come the Steelers again, who continue to win 50-50 battles 5-on-5, especially along the boards. Doucette nice inside to Haddad though. Still a chance there for Myers though, but it just eluded him. Big bump comes in from Haddad, but the Steelers do well. And now Fournier will try and get there first. Gets it round to Joey Haddad, who brings a bit of emotion into things for the Devils. Doucette up against Zach Fitzgerald. Nice play on Fitzgerald to get the puck away from him, from Guillaume Doucette. But the Steelers do clear the zone in the end through Luke Ferrara. We get an offside on the play. A stoppage.
Just the competitiveness in Guy Doucette there. He didn't shy away from that challenge. You see a big size difference in that thing as we get a shot of this second goal now.
Yeah, just gets inside position there on Andrew Hotham, and just desire to get to that puck and awareness of where it is. As he loses balance, he's about to go to the ice, but the guy who just scores big goals gets another one for the Sheffield Steelers.
Ratchik gave that one away. It was shot in quickly there on Master Cobbs, who did well there to read the play. Patrick Asselin has it now for the Devils. Then it's over to Scott Hoffman. Now Joey Martin behind the goal. Martin out for chances there! I think it hit the outside of the post from Jake Morissette. What a chance, perhaps the Devils' best chance of this hockey game, save for the goals they've scored. Batch takes a tumble in the corner, and it gets caught up in his paraphernalia, and he works to his advantage in the big body in the corner as there's a battle for the Devils now. Back to the point it goes. It's Jake Morissette. Winds, fires through traffic. It's deflected, and away come the Sheffield Steelers as Ratchik will dump that in for Robert Dowd, and his line mates will make a change. Jake Morissette clears the zone for the Devils. It gets tangled up in the linesman's skates, but here they go. Joey Martin shoots, and it was deflected. An easy save for Mustakovs. Martin will make his way off for a change. Big bump comes in the corner from Patrick Bordelow. Shot fired in. That sharp save it was from Ben Bounds. Matthew Warr it was again, and you just can't give up those chances to him. Now Patrick Bordelow will come away with the puck and make a pass, but it's given away, and Warr will skate in. Fires, but it's a good coverage play there from Andrew Hoffman to snuff out any danger in front of Ben Bounds.
Yeah, I think it's Patrick Bordelow. Well, he won't go across to the bench because, of course, it's an icing play, but he'll just be reminded that in a game as close as this, you perhaps don't make those east-west passes along your own blue line, especially when Matthew Warr's around, because that could be a game changer right there.
Guys, I want to ask you, the Steelers are playing with pretty much 2.5 lines here against the Devils 4. They look like they've got much more jump. They're playing on the ice a lot more, but they've got much more speed, much more jump, much more energy. We'll come back to that perhaps after this break of play. Here's Zach Fitzgerald walking in. Nice play down low. Luke Ferrara has it now. Looks for the wraparound try. Still there out front. Bounces down. Still the puck is loose, but it falls for the Devils, and Luke Piggott can almost clear. It does stay in the zone, but it gives Andrew Hoffman a little bit of time as the Devils get a couple of tired bodies off the ice.
You're right, the Steelers right now playing on adrenaline. They were perhaps able to conserve a little bit of energy last night. They killed off the tie with Edinburgh quite early into the second period, but you've got to say this is just sheer character right now, playing with 2.5 lines. The Devils had that hard battle in Coventry yesterday evening, but maybe need to ramp up the pace, ramp up the physicality to take advantage of their extra depth.
Andrew Lord now up along the boards in a battle there, and again it's the Steelers as well. This time the Devils do come up with it. Fournier sends it round to Andrew Lord, who takes a bump in the corner from Fitzgerald. The Steelers come up with the puck though again, and again it's those board battles, the Steelers winning the vast majority, especially in their own zone, not allowing the Devils to make anything happen. That's going to be an icing call. It'll come all the way back, and the Devils just haven't created anything in this third period. It's been all Steelers.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're the Devils bench, you're maybe looking to see what can be tweaked with here, because I think that there needs to be something to give the Steelers something different to think about. I'm looking at maybe pairing Hotham and Richardson on the Joey Martin line as the D pair, and maybe that gives that line a little bit more offense. It needs something.
Devils win the draw, and Fournier goes around to Chris Culligan for the easy outlet. Well, it is an icing, that play, and I'm not an expert on the rules, but it seemed to go straight past the stick of Ben O'Connor. But nevertheless, an icing is called.
Guys, I haven't gone down memory lane for a few weeks, but as Gaz is back, I think it's a good time to do it. Going back 20 years, the last time the Devils did in fact win a league title in the 96-97 season, there were 2 games in January that year in the Wales National Ice Rink, which were tight, cagey affairs like this, which the Devils actually came on the right end of 3-2 on both occasions, and ultimately determined the league championship in favour of the Devils. And this game almost feels like that perhaps the next goal wins.
Another icy call for me that I thought there was a little stick on with that.
Now this is a big moment as well. There's a lot of tired bodies out on the ice for the Cardiff Devils. They just can't get the matchup they want. The Steelers get a fresh change as well in the offensive zone, and third icing in a row, John.
Yeah, and I don't think Todd Kelman will mind me saying this. Behind me, he was pretty annoyed with the Devils there, and the words, "that was a dumb play," came out. So everybody's feeling the nerves right now.
Steelers win the draw, and skating in they go, looking for a wraparound perhaps. It's out front, chances there. What a save from Ben Bounds on the doorstep. It was John Armstrong there with the big body just getting right out front, and Bounds had to be big for his club there.
Guys, he may have made the save there, but this goal's coming. You can feel it. You can feel the ice tilting the way of the Sheffield Steelers, and there needs to be something. There needs to be Devils got a much longer bench. There needs to be something that they make the Steelers think about. There has to be something that they bring to this party. Get the crowd engaged as well, because this crowd is getting nervous by the minute.
We'll try and get a shot of the benches perhaps in the next break of play, because it's quite different.
It's telling, isn't it?
It is telling. In more ways than one, perhaps. Bjorkland there just gives that one away to Myers, but then he gives it away to Jesse Schultz. Away comes John Armstrong. Up on the wing they go. Matthew Waugh looks to pull a move. Myers with a good back check there and sends that one around to Scott Hoffman. And Andrew Lord keeping this this matchup with this third line out on the ice. We've seen the fourth line go against Waugh as well. So he's looking for goals from his other lines to get matchups against the Steelers' depth lines. But, well, you've got to say is Andrew Lord's depth lines are doing a decent job against the big line, although Waugh scored on the power play, but he's not getting that production from those big lines against some of the Steelers' depth lines.
No, and this was the case in Coventry last night. The role players were the best players. Culligan, Haddad, Bordel, O'Brien, Chris Jones had a good game, but right now the Devils need their big players to be their big players. They need a Joey Martin moment of magic, a Andrew Hoffman moment of inspiration.
Here he is now, and he just sends that one around. They've got the big line out on the ice now. Andrew Hoffman is there, looks to find a way through, but a great block from Phillips. Now there's room for Hoffman though. Steps inside, chance the back door, shot comes in. It was fired high and wide by Asselin. The puck stays in play. Still there for the Devils though. Winding up is Richardson. Slap passes there to Asselin, who can't find a way through. And again, the Devils, they haven't seen too many clear-cut chances, and they're just looking a little shy in front of goal when they do come along. Here it is with Andrew Hoffman now. Hoffman makes a nice play up on the wing to Patrick Bordeleau with a cross-ice pass. He sends that one back in the other way for the chase for Joey Haddad, but it's easy for Anders Franson, who takes a big bump, but he did get out of the zone. And Chris Culligan for the Devils has it now. Goes D to D with Gleason Fournier, or make a heads-up play to Joey Haddad. Takes a bump along the boards from Robert Dowd, but gets it into the zone. Patrick Bordeleau in a tangle there in the corner, and again the Steelers get it out of the zone without the Devils spending too much time there. Big hit comes in from Gleason Fournier on Marcus Nielsen, who tries to return the favour, and that might just get the Devils going a little bit. Chris Culligan makes a nice play into David Bryan. Jumping into the play is Culligan. Culligan still goes. Culligan looks for the wraparound, still has the puck though, Culligan, and now Culligan, who was so good yesterday, you wonder whether he's got the hot stick right now and maybe should look to make something happen.
And maybe an important moment in this game, Levi Nelson rejoins the party and goes to the bench. He's been sitting dormant for the last 10 minutes, but we know what a big game player he is, the Boston Bruin draft pick. He'll be itching to get back in the action right now, and he's scored some big goals in his career.
Well, we did see in those last few shifts a bit more life in the Cardiff Devils and a bit more zone time, and Patrick Asselin, I think maybe had a goal on his stick there, and you have to wonder whether the Devils got more chances in them like that, and will the Sheffield Steelers be as lucky next time if they have?
Lane Ormer bears down on Zach Fitzgerald, who gives the puck up. Chance after it. Huge save it was. Mesnikov's there. What a save from Sean Bentafolio, and that could be a huge moment in the match as well.
This really does feel like March already. This feels like playoff hockey, and
here's John Armstrong in a goal. Now, what an attempt from Armstrong. That was audacious, and he almost found a way through with no room to spare.
It certainly was. Nothing's going to be decided tonight, but you just get the feeling it could go a long, long way. And boy, we're even feeling the nerves up here in the commentary box.
Devils looking a little nervous defensively. Scott Hoffman can't get it out of the zone. Bjorkland has it. Bjorkland sends it back in, but it was just a little bit too hard for Jesse Schultz. But again, he wins his battle and gets it in for Anders Franson. Franson cross-ice play, and it just got caught up in the skates there of Jesse Schultz, trying to set the Devils trying to set Scott Hoffman away there, but is offside on the play. We're under 10 minutes to go, and it's 2-2.
Well, where is the key to the win in this game? I think is it going to come down to a simple mistake from someone? Is it that moment of individual brilliance as you almost seen from Armstrong? It's so tantalizingly poised that wow, you get a sense next goal wins.
Joey Martin read the play well there. Richardson stepped up to make the hit, and Martin covered, but the Steelers get in the zone again, and they're finding it all too easily right now. Andrew Hoffman will have a chance to clear, just about does so, but again, there wasn't an option for him there as Jake Morissette was high up the ice.
The Devils need to press the game a little bit more again now. They need to get that heavy forecheck. They do have the extra depth, and once again, their defensemen have to pick the right times to pinch, but try and pinch in, try and outnumber the Steelers, maybe down low along the half boards and get that zone time, which is so crucial, because you're right, Al, the Steelers have been dominating in that aspect during the third period. The Devils really do need their four lines to go to work and try and pin the Steelers back. The Steelers must be feeling it right now. They're a skilled team. They're certainly a character team from what we've seen tonight, but they are a short bench team. The Devils have to use that to their advantage.
Again, they get out of the zone, but there's just nothing happening in the neutral zone for the Devils. Haddad just bundles the puck in, so at least there's a chase on for Doucette now. But the Steelers, again, the clearance is all too easy, and the race is on. We've got a foot race. Richardson gets there first, just about gets it out of the zone. So Phillips will be offside, and we'll get a neutral zone face-off.
Mark Richardson, I think, really is carrying something there. He was, he certainly had the pain etched on his face as he tried to move those legs to make up that foot race. And with 8:10 to go, you maybe just give Richie those few extra minutes to recover. There's a lot of capable defensemen who can take a couple of extra shifts in this late period of play.
That one was fired in by Ben O'Connor. The Devils, well, just about get that one out the zone. There might have been a play on there for Haddad, but again, the back check was good. It was Marcus Nielsen that time. That one gets sent in by the Steelers. Gleason Fournier has an outlet with Doucette, but it bounces over his stick. And Anders Franzen goes D to D.
I should just say, guys, in terms of role players, the two players who scored those winning goals for the Devils 20 years ago in 2-3-2 wins, Jason Stone and Doug McCarthy, two great role players.
Here it is, though. Bjorkland fakes the shot, then looks to go around the outside of Ulmer. Saved by Bounds, about to be shot. It's still out front. Nobody knows where it is. And eventually it's Chris Culligan with a heads-up play, comes up with it and does well. But a loose pass from Andrew Lord. At least Lane Ulmer read the play there and sent that one in. Bjorkland has it now and makes so many good plays from the Steelers from the back end. And away goes Robert Dowd. He'll just dump that one in while the Steelers make a change. And again, put pressure on the Devils' outlet pass. They're there in time. That one skips through. There's an icing on the play. I can't remember the last time I saw the Devils ice the puck this much.
Absolutely. You wondered about how the short bench would affect the Steelers the further the game went on. If anything, it seems to have galvanized them into bringing more effort into this one.
Well, I guess the double-edged sword of the short bench, maybe the advantage is you are getting your best players on the ice more often. They're having to take more shifts, and the best players for the Sheffield Steelers are influencing the game right now. So whilst you don't want to be playing with a short bench too long, too often, occasionally it can work to your favour, getting your best players on the ice for more ice time, more shifts, influencing the game.
Yeah, and as you said, John, the Devils' best players haven't been that tonight. And get it out of the zone now with Patrick Bordlow. Makes a nice play there. Chasing it is Sean Bentavolio. Gets it taken away from him by Zach Fitzgerald, though. Makes a nice play, then gets that over to Ben O'Connor. O'Connor then with an outlet to John Armstrong. Armstrong heads up play over the blue line to Matthew Waugh. Waugh just sends that one in, looking for something out front. Then it gets sent again, and Ben Bounds had to make a sharp heads up play there. David Bryan does well not to give a penalty away, and with help from Joey Haddad, will get the puck, but then it's sent right back in again as Schultz takes a bump from Hoffman, and eventually the Devils get a hold of the puck. But right now it's, well, they get a hold of it, but they don't get out of the zone. Might be a chance now. Stepping in was Schultz. It's still Louis Franzen. Franzen shoots and deflected high and wide by Ben Bounds. Still the pressure for the Steelers. Bounds doesn't know where it is, but it falls kindly for the Devils, who will get out of the zone. Possibly. I'm hesitant to predict that they will, because it's been so difficult for the Devils, who have been so poor in this third, but so good have the Steelers been. Here's Franzen. Franzen in on goal. Chances there. Backhand try. Huge save from Bounds, who was taken out. We'll just calm down here as Franzen there stepped right in on Bounds. I don't think there was any malicious intent on the play. Bounds looks to be okay. The helmet is off. A little bit of a reaction from the Devils, but we'll just get things calmed down for a moment.
No intention in that play whatsoever. Franzen had to drive the net and did very well. Two Devils players colliding, giving up the whole skating lane to him. Credit to Ben Bounds again, staying strong, staying with the shooter and making yet another crucial save, bailing his team out. Just players making uncharacteristic mistakes. We saw David Bryan there coughing the puck up in neutralized territory, leading to the scoring chance for the Steelers. That's not a mistake he makes. for the first time this season, the Devils have got so much veteran leadership. We've seen that character. We saw it last night in Coventry. But I'm really looking down there right now thinking, are the Devils feeling the nerves? And this is something that's maybe cost them in the last 2 seasons, particularly in the big games against the Sheffield Steelers. The Cardiff Devils haven't necessarily been able to bring it home. They've got to bear down now and find a way to win this game. It might be ugly, but that's what they've got to do if they are going to be the team to beat come the end of March.
Jordan Petrus said post-game last night for Coventry against the Devils that the Devils play the same way, whatever the situation of the game. They just keep playing and they believe in their system and it works. But when that's against the side that you're evenly matched against and a side that's outplaying them really like the Sheffield Steelers and can play this way against them, perhaps that's to their detriment that we haven't seen the change-up for the Devils.
It's really difficult to put your finger on quite why this third period hasn't gone the way that maybe some expected in terms of the Devils putting extra pressure on this short bench Steelers team, and you just have to give credit to the Sheffield Steelers, the coaching staff and the way the players have responded, as there's another icing call that's gone down here now.
That's just sheer frustration. I was going to say try and lift the Devils fans at home and say it just does take one big moment, and you've got to think someone like Guy Doucette, with the streak he's on at the moment, maybe he's the guy that scores that clutch goal, the equivalent of Matthew Waugh in Sheffield. But first thing the Devils have got to do is get up the ice, because they are finding that increasingly difficult. And Al, I think that's icing count number 71 against the Devils in this period.
Is that all? Ben O'Connor gets it back to Jonathan Phillips. Back with O'Connor now. Bad angle shot, but it makes Ben bounce to make the save. And the Devils do clear the zone, but that is all they're doing right now. They're just able to get it out of the zone just about and not getting possession of the puck. It's back with the Steelers again. Colton Fretter now with a nice play in his own zone over to Davy Phillips. Sent out into neutral ice. Chris Culligan then goes D-to-D with Gleeson Fournier. Now there's a bit of room for Patrick Aslin, but that third forward was so good for the Steelers. Colton Fretter there reading the play. Both sides make changes, and the Devils that are outnumbered in most areas of the ice. Myers does a good job to get that over to Joey Haddad. Haddad sends it round, but Myers is in a tangle with Fitzgerald there and was late getting to that puck as a result. Then we get a high stick, then we get a reaction from Fitzgerald. No call on the play, and that's perhaps one each there again. Shot fired through traffic, still out front, puck is loose, still there might be a scramble as Mustakovs is down, nobody knows where it is, it's still loose. Now it's with Joey Haddad, sends it around to Andrew Hoffman. Now the Devils sense something might happen, then we get a call on the play. Bounds is lifted, Devils go 6-on-5. Guillaume Doucette on the outside, then another cross-check as Haddad has won 3 from Fitzgerald, who's already on 1 penalty, and he keeps cross-checking him. It's Myers, my apologies, out front, and Myers will go off, and I wonder whether Fitzgerald might have accumulated more than 1 penalty.
I wonder whether he might. This is the referee who would call that sort of penalty, but then again, it's a big game with 4 minutes remaining. Is it just a 2 minute? I think it's a 2 plus. It's a 2 plus 2. It's a 4-minute penalty on Zach Fitzgerald, the man we have talked up all night of playing so well, but he has just made a selfish play, shall we call it that, a dumb play, possibly so. Credit to the Devils player Matthew Myers for staying in that area and essentially just taking a little bit of a battering.
Apologies, I was saying Joey Haddad for a while there. Matthew Myers there deserves all the credit. I wonder whether the only thing I can assume there is that Fitzgerald didn't realise he was already on 1 penalty and he just kept going because he thought he was getting away with the cross-checks.
I will say though, Myers did throw one in at the end himself that I thought he was maybe a little bit fortunate to get away with. But wow, what a massive, massive moment in this hockey game.
So the Devils are on the power play. They already have a power play goal tonight and a goal with a 6-on-5 advantage on the delayed call. This is their strength, certainly in this game where they haven't been at the races 5-on-5. It goes sent across ice. It's now there back at the point. Shot fired in from Fournier, deflected out front. Good save perhaps from Mustakovs, who might have got a piece of it. Now Lane Ulmer has the puck. Devils 4 minutes of power play time. It's with Bentivolio, looks to step inside, but a good stick from Marcus Nielsen there, and then Anders Franzen does well up in the corner with help from Bjorkland. That one gets sent around. The Devils are the second unit on the ice, John.
No, I was just going to say, Al, patience and puck moving is the key for the Devils. The crowd are ramping into this. You just feel the Devils already are trying to force plays a little bit. They've got a lot of time to play with here. Just settle the puck down. Not slow puck movement, but just play their normal style. Move the puck from side to side. Try and open up that one-timer, sliding down the back door, which is a traditional play for the Devils. I just felt on that first power play shift, the Devils were a little frenetic. The crowd were getting into it, and the Devils never settled the play down. Just run through your normal plays, run your normal routes, and that's the key to the Devils' success. But that first shift was not an example of that.
They've got the big unit out on the ice now. A subtle change, perhaps because of the suspected injury to Mark Richardson, is Jake Morissette is actually playing on defence with Hoffman, or on the point at least. Joey Martin out there with Patrick Asselin and Guillaume Doucette. So the firepower is on the ice now. They go with one defenseman and 4 forwards. Martin cross-ice shot comes in. Huge save, Mustakovs. They don't get out of the zone though. Hoffman still through traffic. Then a fabulous block from
interference
the
call
there, Matthew Wan. Surprisingly, no call there. I have to say that was as clear as day in terms of interference. Matthew Wan would have been away, but the whistle stays in the pocket. Joey Martin lets up on the puck, and the Devils' poor play 5-on-5 seems to have found its way into their power play as well, as we get a battle with Phillips and Asselin along the boards. And coming in is Guillaume Doucette. There'll be a whistle. There's 33 seconds left on the first penalty to Zach Fitzgerald, then another 2 will start. 2:36 in total on the game. So this will take us to just 3 seconds left. The Steelers right now will be looking at a point will be a victory for them.
And I wonder if this shift is no more successful for the Devils, whether the timeout might come into play. Andrew Lord settle it down, getting the troops back on the ice he wants, because they haven't got power play set up right now. That's credit to the Sheffield Steelers, who again boxing out, getting in shooting lanes.
Now with Gleason Fournier through traffic, and Mustakovs didn't know where it was, but it deflected wide. It's Scott Hotham out there now. Scott goes down low to Lane Ulmer. Can this unit do better second time around? It's with Sean Bentivolio now. Bentivolio. Andrew Lord is the screen out there. Bentivolio, though, the Steelers with an excellent box on this power play so far, and it takes time and space away from Bentivolio, who perhaps tried too hard to make something happen. Now Andrew Lord comes up with a puck, takes a big bump along the boards, no call. Stepping inside, now back to the point. Fournier, blast, shoots, scores! Gleason Fournier on the power play. Devils go 3-2.
And that was better set up by the Cardiff Devils, and it's great puck retrieval in the corner by Andrew Lord. Aled, you called it. He had to take a hit to make a play, but that puck was recycled by Andrew Lord. The Devils then got set up. It went to Fournier. It's a blast of a shot. The replay maybe doesn't go back so far, but Lord takes a hit to make a play, and then also goes straight to the net as well. What a play by the player coach. Perhaps the moment of the match.
If there's a better celebrator of a goal in the league than Andrew Lord, I ain't seen him.
That's Fournier's 4th goal of the season, his 4th point, his first goal on the power play as well, but his 4th point. He's so crucial for the Devils in terms of that second unit. John?
Sorry, I'll just go crucially, because the Devils wasted time perhaps on that first penalty. It was into the second penalty, so the Steelers now do go back 5-on-5. There's 1 minute 59 seconds on the game clock, so the Steelers now won't be killing that second penalty, but for the Devils, they don't care. They've got the 3-2 lead.
And now it's all about puck management for the Devils. Can they find a way to stay in the Steelers zone? Interesting that Andrew Lord goes for the Myers Haddad line, but they do perhaps the best line to do that in the offensive zone, but they give the puck up. Pressure is on the Steelers now. We're 1:35 left in this one. Haddad walks in, shoots, well blocked by Davy Phillips. It's now with Haddad again, who'll look to kill a bit of time in the corner, but he's outmanned there, and away come the Sheffield Steelers with John Armstrong. Goes over to Jesse Schultz, looks to go inside to Matthew Waugh, but the Devils just about clear the zone as Haddad will dump that one in for the chase for Guillaume Doucette. Wow, that's been called, and Devils are going to, Steelers were going to go to the power play here. The stick of Doucette was caught up in the equipment there, a little bit of Franzen, but with what we've seen tonight, that's a little bit of a soft call perhaps, as Franzen went down quite easily. I
think when you're in a situation like this and the referee's made such a big call, if you give the referee any reason to make a call against you, that you're leaving yourself open to that. And I have to say, if your stick's in the body and it's not near the puck, then I haven't really got a problem with that, and it's made me very nervous. 1 minute and 12 seconds for this Devils crowd at Ice Arena Wales.
You suspect that Mustakovs won't return to the ice, and that the Steelers will go 6-on-4. We'll wait to see. He's not on the bench as yet, but I would imagine that Paul Thompson will look to get the two-man advantage, and this first face-off, Al, becomes absolutely key.
I wonder whether it's the Steelers who've called the timeout, by the way, and I wonder whether we might see Andrew Lord send 2 centremen out on the ice as well to see if they can get that puck possession. So crucial. 1 minute and 12 seconds left then in this one. That's the figure to keep an eye on. It's 1:11 on your screens, 1:12 on the scoreboard in the building. That's the key figure to keep an eye on. The Steelers, of course, 2-minute power play, but unless they score, they won't see all of that out. So it's 1 minute 12 seconds of power play time for the Sheffield Steelers. 6 men on the ice. Mustakov does stay on the bench. And taking the face off for the Steelers is Armstrong, but it's a big win for the Devils, but they give it up straight away. Joey Martin won it, but then they gave the puck up. 6-on-4 situation for the Steelers. Chance in front, still there, the puck is loose. Batting away at it was the captain, Jake Morissette. They sent that one down ice, and of course the Devils can ice the puck now because they are with Guillaume Doucet in the box, of course. So that is one slim advantage they have, perhaps, one saving grace in this situation for them. Here's John Armstrong around the back of the goal, goes over to the far side, and now it's back on the point, fired in from O'Connor, but it's pushed away by Morissette. Now it's over with Colton Fretter. Fretter then goes down low to Armstrong. 31 seconds left. It's in the skates there, but it goes back to O'Connor again. Now there might be a chance. Steelers look to work something. They've got a screen with War out there as well. Chances there on the short side. Then it's fired. Huge save from Ben Bounds there, who was down and out on his rear end, but somehow plucked that one out of mid-air. 19 seconds left on the clock.
Great patience by the Sheffield Steelers. Joey Martin did well a couple of times, taking away a one-timer from Ratchuk, getting his stick in the passing lane, but the Steelers stayed with it. They worked the puck. O'Connor is key, but Ben Bounds is the king of Cardiff right now. What a huge save, guys, potentially in the context of this season.
There's 19 seconds left. Anything could happen. We could see another save like that. We could see a goal. We could see an equaliser. I just don't know what's going to happen. But boy, oh boy, what a game we've had tonight.
Steelers win the draw. It's back with Mike Ratchuk now. Goes D to D. O'Connor through traffic. Tipped down front, but it flew over the top of Ben Bounds. 13 seconds left with Mike Ratchuk again. Goes back to the point. O'Connor will fire as soon as he can. Then through traffic. It whistles wide. Getting there first with Andrew Hoffman. Puck is still loose behind the net. 4 seconds left. It's sent around the boards, and that one will do it. The Cardiff Devils came into this one as the top of the table team against the Sheffield Steelers, who could have gone ahead of them by winning the games in hand. We said before, this one might already be a 2-horse race in November. We've seen by certainly the best 2 clubs in the Elite League play tonight. What a spectacle we've seen. The Steelers 5-on-5 were dominant. The Devils couldn't skate with them. They couldn't keep with the Steelers, but the power play, the special teams made all the difference. The Devils killed well. The Steelers lost momentum on their own power plays, and the Devils scored 2 power play goals and also at the 6-on-5 advantage on the delayed penalty call. That was the difference. They may not play as poorly as this for a long while against Sheffield, but somehow they found a way. They win 3-2.
Sorry, Al, I didn't hear a word you said there, mate. It's pretty loud in this building right now, and there's a very happy home crowd who maybe realise just how important a 2 points this could be in the context of the season, John.
Absolutely a huge turning point. It's a 3-0 in the league series right now for the Cardiff Devils and the Sheffield Steelers. These are the 2 best teams in the league. One of these teams are going to be league champions, and that's a huge step forward for the Cardiff Devils. But boy, there were a lot of storylines in this game, and I'm looking forward to one of us catching up with Paul Thompson after the game, because I think he's going to have a few things to say about refereeing calls, particularly on those 2 goals. But you've got to take your hat off yet again to the Cardiff Devils as chants of "We are number one" ring out around Ice Arena Wales. Said with belief, said with conviction this year, perhaps different to previous years. But the Cardiff Devils found a way to win when, Al, as you rightly say, they certainly weren't at their best, particularly in that 3rd period. And that's a mark of a huge, perhaps title-winning team, but there's a long way to go. It's only November, but we know what it means to Paul Thompson, Gaz, because he has just demolished the stick rack. He's one unhappy man. Which one of us is going to talk to him?
I would be surprised if Paul Thompson maybe comes out of his dressing room.
I don't know. I think he might want to talk to someone, Gaz.
Well, I hope so, because I think that he's going to have a lot of valid points to make tonight. But hey, we said how much the game meant to us, and maybe people don't believe us, but there's a row of sticks that Andy Akers, the poor Steelers equipment manager, has to now pack up that says differently. Paul Thompson didn't take this lightly.
Like that emotion, and I think Paul Thompson knows the importance of this game, and there are still 3 more left, and there are a lot in the next month, if I remember correctly. These are the 2 best teams in the league, and every game is going to count, because unless something drastic happens, and I will be proved wrong because I'm proved wrong every time, but it's my belief that one of those 2 teams will be lifting that Elite League Bowl come the last week of March.
It was Jonathan Phillips who picked up the man of the match for the Sheffield Steelers, and I think that was certainly thoroughly deserved. He got that first goal, a couple of important defensive plays as well, but really for the Steelers, who totally outplayed the Devils, quite frankly, 5-on-5 tonight with a bench far shorter as well. We never did get that shot to the bench as the game just sort of ignited there towards the end. But I can tell you the Devils had 2 rows of players to the Steelers 1, and you saw how few of them there were leaving the ice at the end. But how often over previous seasons have we perhaps seen the Cardiff Devils outplay the Sheffield Steelers, but the Steelers find a way to win? Well, tonight it was the other way around.
Gaz, I don't know about you, I think in previous years, and I said it last night on commentary, these are 2 games this weekend the Devils would have lost. They didn't play 2 60-minute games by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got 2 big wins, and I think this is very much a different Cardiff Devils team.
I mean, I think a lot of people in Cardiff are tired of being the plucky losers, and I think you would always want to be maybe the fortunate winners, as I think is the case tonight. Maybe not fortunate is the correct term there, as there were 3 good goals that were scored tonight, and they did withstand a lot of pressure. Bounds, after maybe a shaky first half of the game, grew into the second half of this game. But this has got to do wonders for the belief in our locker room that these big games are games that this team can win, and we look forward to Wednesday against an organisation that the Devils haven't beaten so far this year, the Nottingham Panthers, and that challenge maybe now is looked at a lot more confidently than maybe it would have been if this scoreline had been reversed.
So it is Gleeson Fournier who picks up the man of the match award for the Devils. The game-winning goal, of course, on that power play, and it came on the second of those 2 power plays they had at the end, on the double minor on